Doing today? Happy Sunday. I hope your football teams are winning. I needed to go live early today because I just felt like we needed to do another show on Kelsey Fitzsimmons, and I haven't done a show in a few days since the Grace Curley show, which I did on the Howie Carr Radio Network on Friday, which was so much fun. But I felt like I needed to do this show today. And I'm doing the Mazza Media show. I think a little later today, he's doing a fundraiser. I think it's either at 5 or 6. I need to check my messages again. But he's doing an early evening show tonight, a fundraiser. It's going to be for 3 different funds. Kelsey Fitzsimmons is going to be one of them. Aiden Carney, Turtle Boy, is the other. And myself, my civil defamation suit, which has been quite costly for me. The bills are adding up. I just got my latest monthly bill. So he's going to be doing that tonight, and hopefully I'll be there for him. And I know he's got some great guests. I think the Galera is going to be on there, and he always pulls off phenomenal fundraising shows. So we'll be watching over at Mazza and hopefully jumping on with him later tonight. But tomorrow, Karen Reed civil case. I'm hitting myself because there's so much going to be happening this week. Karen Reed civil case tomorrow afternoon. It looks like it is actually going to be televised, so we all get to stream it. If there's a feed, we have a Zoom link. I think we're going to actually have video, I think. So we'll definitely be streaming that on our channel tomorrow at 2 p.m. I'm sure everyone else will be. It's going to be exciting. It's like the gang's back together tomorrow for the Karen Reed civil trial, which is going to be 2 p.m. Monday. Also, Aiden Carney is in court this week on Wednesday. So there's a lot going on. I'm very happy to be covering this. The Kelsey Fitzsimmons, especially. I just want to thank the crew over at the Howie Carr Radio Network and the Grace Curley show. It was a fun show on Friday. I was a little stressed. I don't know why. I was more stressed the second time than I was the first time. And I think it's because everyone was in there. Howie was in there, his wife, Taylor, all the big wigs were there on Friday. And it was and there were some screw ups on the first show. So I knew that on the second show. And I think it's so funny how you can get so much more stressed out in their studio compared to being right where I am right now. It's so comfortable here. I think eventually, if I continue to do those guest appearances on there, I think eventually I will get comfortable. It's just I'm kind of a spaz, but I think it was a good show. Everyone liked it. The feedback has been huge, like in terms of the guest and the content. And so I was very happy about the show on Friday, even though I was nervous and I feel like I could actually do better there. But the lighting obviously makes me look very nice because people kept on commenting how handsome I was, and the microphone. So it's just a great outfit over there. So I'm happy to be a part of that. And I'm very happy about the guests that we had on. Jodine Weber, the FBI agent, she had a lot to say about Kelsey Fitzsimmons. I know her father heard it. I know a lot of people heard it. And it was awesome to see the retired FBI agent speaking about Kelsey Fitzsimmons and also about the federal investigation of Karen Reed. I thought what she had to say about the feds and the administration and what's actually going on there was quite interesting. Jodine Weber, check her out. JodineWeber.com is her website. It's 1B in Weber, so it's almost like Weber, WEBER.com. Check her out. She's awesome. I also had Brother Counsel. Was the first time we've ever talked. It was amazing to have him live on the show. That he was phenomenal. In 10 minutes, it was like bang. He crushed it on Kelsey Fitzsimmons as well. We also had Marbury. Let me say it again. Marbury versus Marbury versus Madison, I should say. But Marbury versus Mad is the Twitter. I'm never going to forget that. She is so good. Corey Hopkins, attorney Corey Hopkins. She was also on the show. And we also had Michael from Mass Recall. So that was so much fun on the Grace Curley show. It really, the guest and just bringing the content, I really enjoy it. And we're going to have some great shows coming up on over here at the Young Jerks, and I'm sure back at the Grace Curley show as well. So I'm looking forward to it all. Today, I wanted to talk about Kelsey. I've been doing some research. I've been researching into this, talking to some folks too, obviously off the record. But, looking into things. And this is something, can I add it to the stage right here, that I discovered a video. This is the actual day where Kelsey is pregnant. Kelsey Fitzsimmons is pregnant. She's a North Andover police officer. We'll put the full picture up. This is the full picture right here. And she's sitting in front of a house. And at this house is the crime scene where a mother and the young baby that the mother, you know what, did to the baby. And Kelsey showed up at the crime scene. And they have her, she's pregnant at this point. And they have her outside. She's doing security after her and her partner responded to the scene of this incident. Both of them. Think about that. The guy who shot her and Kelsey went to this incident where a mother to her baby. Both done. Look at her body language. I found the video. We're gonna play the video. I'm gonna read the story about it too. And there's also some other things too I wanna talk about. Yeah, hold on one second. This North Andover officer Catherine Gerke, I'm not sure how to say that last name. We'll just say North Andover officer files suit against town and the police chief. I'm going to read this story because this is very interesting about this police chief. We're going to look at a lot of old videos. We're just going to start digging in like we used to in Canton. We're just going to get to know some of these players tonight. This broke my heart when I saw this picture. You can see the body language. Someone already mentioned that. Look at the body language on her right there. I'm going to take a call off the record. Just give me 1 minute, folks. This is somebody calling related to this. So just give me one moment. 1 second. All right, I'm back. I was getting a call about this, and I knew it was something about this content, but I'm hearing different things. I got one source who's close to it. This is the funniest thing too, who confirmed this is actually Kelsey, and I was wondering because it doesn't actually look that much like her. But the other person who's very close to it says it's not Kelsey, so maybe it's not. But either way, I'm going to play the video. Either way, I'm going to play the video. So maybe this might not be Kelsey. One source who was very close to the situation said, when I showed them the picture, I said, this Kelsey? And they said, yep. And the other person who's very close to it says it's not Kelsey. So I'm not sure. Maybe there is another female officer. If you look closely, it doesn't I don't know. It doesn't actually like to me fit the body type, so it probably isn't her. So let's remove that. But I'm still gonna show the story, and we're still gonna read it because she was there that day. Let's put that up right now. That's the wrong one. Hold on. I wish we could make this larger. All right, here's the story from CBS News. It says mother and apparent murder suicide in North Andover, Massachusetts, in history of mental health struggles. Just
We have
watch
new
this.
information about the woman in North Andover who police believe killed her baby boy before killing herself. And we've learned that she had a history of mental health struggles. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Lisa Hughes.
And I'm Courtney Cole in for David. Now, the mother and baby were found with knife wounds last night.
I know you can almost see tattoos on the picture of the arm. It's funny on this picture, so it almost does look like her, but the body and the hair, I'm not sure. We'll find out. I'm sure it will come out eventually whether it is her or not. I don't even think it makes a difference. But what I was told is that she was doing security out front of the house, and this is what you're going to see in the video. So let's go back to this video.
And as WBZ's Christina Rex shows us, neighbors are shaken by what happened.
I'm a mother. I can't imagine.
A horrible situation inside this North Andover home as investigators reveal a mother and her baby died in an apparent murder-suicide Monday night.
I'm a mother. I got 3 kids. I can't imagine how she felt.
The Essex County District Attorney's Office says 35-year-old Jennifer Paez killed her 9-month-old baby boy Valentino before taking her own life. Both had apparent knife wounds. Valentino was rushed to the hospital but died there. The tragedy on this very busy street without many homes is hard for the few neighbors in the area to comprehend.
I don't know. Maybe she just went into a rage, or maybe she just was not taking medication. She was depressed.
Jennifer Paez had a history of mental health issues, court records obtained by WBZ show. In late 2022, she was involuntarily sent to a mental health hospital by police. In 2023, they responded to the North Andover home for...
Someone said if Noonan was there, they were both there. There's not even a question if they were there. It's just whether that's actually her in that video. The question, it's not whether they were there. They were definitely both there. All right, let's just watch a little more of this video. This is horrible. What happened to this mother and the baby?
a domestic issue, and Paez's family reported she suffered from bipolar disorder and was not taking her medication, calling her behavior erratic and aggressive, saying both her sister and mother are in fear of her.
And when we hear of tragedies that happen, I think it's really easy to put a label on it when we don't know.
Amy Colazzo is a perinatal mental health practitioner who helps families struggling pre or postpartum. It's unknown if that played a role here, but experts say situations like this one are a reminder that help is available.
I think whenever there's a tragedy like this, it hits home for every single family. It affects every single person who's out there. And I think, our biggest message we want people to know is they're not alone. This can be really activating for any of us to hear if we have young children, if we know people who have young children. And so just making sure that people are reaching out to support.
And we have resources for people struggling with mental health or any families right now available on our website. That's WBZ.com. In North Andover, Christina Rex, WBZ News.
You know what? I got an update here. Let me make sure I get it up. Hold on one second. I got an update that there is definitely a video of Kelsey at the scene. Very clear, a much clearer video. So I just got that message. So I'm going to put that up right now, actually. So whether that was Kelsey or not doesn't even matter because we're going to get the video up right now. Let's just take me a second here. There it is. Let me get through the little ads and we'll put it up on the screen. Hold on one more moment. Let's watch it. This is Gene Levanchi, Boston 25. And Kelsey is in this one. That's her right there. That's both of them. Let's bring that back. Bring it back. Come on, let me bring it back. There we go. Who's it? Definitely her. Wonder which of these guys, because apparently one of these is Noonan. We'll figure it out. One of these is Noonan. But that is definitely her. Look, she's right there. Oh, you didn't. I didn't put it on the screen. Sorry. Hold on. I StreamYard's really screwing with me. Sorry about that. Hold on. Why did it do that? There she is. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. You couldn't even hear it the whole time, huh? Sorry. Let me play the whole clip again. But that is her. Let me put myself on the bottom of the screen. And I one of these is Noonan. I can't tell if it's the guy on the far left or maybe the guy in the near close to the car. But he's there as well. And that is definitely her. That's a clear shot. I'm going to play the whole clip again. If it will
on
let me.
charges
Come on.
including assault and
These
on charges
network ones
including
are
assault and
wonky. The players are so wonky when they put all they don't want you to rewind it. They want you to get another ad. Come on, go back. Let me go back. All right, we'll just play it
be
from here.
dangerous. Court documents show Jennifer Paez was scheduled for trial in October on charges including assault and disorderly conduct in North Andover and Lawrence.
See what she's doing there too? She's basically, you could tell she's telling about what she saw. Looks like she's talking to a detective maybe. Cuz she was in that house. And she's pregnant at this point.
Disorderly conduct in North Andover and Lawrence. Police report
You can see the tattoos too. That is definitely her. Not even question. Well, thank you. I want to thank you to my source for sending me the right link tonight.
In North Andover and Lawrence. Police reports show that Paez was charged with domestic assault and motor vehicle violations in connection with 2 incidents in late 2022. Her sister says that Paez was bipolar, but had stopped taking her medication and sometimes acted out of control. During a traffic stop in Lawrence, Paez allegedly threatened police and said she wanted to kill people. One officer said he even recognized her from a previous suicide attempt. Police and DCF tell us they are both investigating Monday's apparent murder-suicide.
Yeah, Noonan was definitely there. I think he's the big bald guy. Exactly. So there you go. There you go. So think about that. She was pregnant at that point. This is back in 2023. And what do you think they give her any time off or any counseling or any support? And she's pregnant. And Noonan is there as well. And then how long later they have this incident? I think that may come up. I think a lot of that may come up in this so-called trial. And I think about this whole trial too. Like they couldn't indict her on Noonan's testimony. The grand jury obviously didn't believe Officer Noonan, because if they did, they would have indicted on attempted murder. All they're indicting on is the brandishing of the gun, which she basically admitted, right? When she said she put the gun to her head. So even the grand jury, without having any of the defense there to defend their case, they agreed with the defense over the DA's office on the most major charge. That to me says a lot about what's going on here. And I don't see how they get. I think that they're going to have problems even getting the lower charge. Yeah, thank God for the grand jurors. Thank God some of these grand jurors actually question the police. Yeah, they probably did both need time off for counseling. And I want to ask you, do you think this police chief? Oh, let's look at him. Let's look at this police chief and see what we think about this police chief. This is what one of his own officers says about him. Not the only one, apparently. There's some stuff that's come out. Let's just look at it. Let's just look at this news story and we'll read it over. North Andover Officer Catherine Gerke files suit against town and chief. Now, I believe this police officer is still employed on the police force this week when it was like Women's Police Officer Month or whatever. They posted a picture of her actually on their Facebook page, which is funny because now they're using her for cover, it looks like, because they know the shit's about to hit the fan with maybe the way that they treat women in this town and on this police force. And that's the thing that's like so obvious in the story to me is Kelsey's the odd person out because she's a woman. And I think so many of us in the audience with the shows, even the mainstream journalists, we all see that. We all recognize it. We all recognize that there's a club. And a lot of times the club's about who you are, who you know, how long you've lived somewhere. Are you one of the guys? How many years you've been with the force? Do you know where the bodies are buried? Are you part of the club? Let's just read this thing. The suit alleges that Gerke was subjected to a pattern of sexual harassment, retaliation, and gender discrimination within the North Andover Police Department. Dan Shalin, patch staff. This is from, again, January 2023. A lot of stuff happened in 2023, apparently. North Andover Police Sergeant Catherine Gerke has filed a lawsuit against Police Chief Charles Gray. Remember that name? Charles Gray. Charlie Gray. I think we got to come up with a name for Charlie. Charles Gray, in the town of North Andover, in which Gerke claims she has been subjected to a pattern of sexual harassment, retaliation, and gender discrimination. The 10-page lawsuit, which also named Deputy Town Manager Denise Casey as a defendant, was filed in Essex Superior Court by Needham attorney Timothy Burke. Burke's office provided a copy of the lawsuit to Patch. The lawsuit alleges that there was retaliation against Gerke by the town of North Andover because she was a whistleblower, that Gerke's civil rights were violated by Gray and Casey, and that Gray and Casey intentionally inflicted emotional distress. Gerke has demanded a trial by jury on all counts. The lawsuit says Gerke is a 17-year veteran of the staff who has received numerous awards in commendation for her work. Now, a lot of this has to do with, pay grades and getting reassigned and not getting proper credit, proper salary. This is just me saying that, not reading from the story. But I'm not going to read every detail of the story, but I'm just going to, basically she calls out, let's read this part. The suit says the behavior was tolerated and tacitly approved by supervisory staff members, including Gray, the police chief. The lawsuit points out that Gerke is one of only 3 female officers in the department where there are 40 male officers. Do you see what I'm saying? When you have 40 against 3, it creates a club atmosphere. Among the allegations, when Gerke transferred to the department after 9 years with the Hingham Police Department, her pay started one step below the maximum salary. But Gerke says that she was told she would be credited for her previous years of service and a pay raise that would come soon. So basically, she had served in another town. When she came there, she was told she would get credit, but she didn't get the credit. And they kept saying, it will come, it will come. I'm just wondering if I wonder if Officer Noonan had those issues when he moved from Lawrence with his service as a police officer to North Andover. I'm assuming he didn't have this problem that Gerke had. Let's go on. But in March 2022, the town of North Andover revised its collective bargaining agreement so that only years of service in North Andover were credited and not previous years of civil service. So basically in 2022, they changed the rules on her. It looks like right as she was moving over there. They told her one thing, but they were changing the rules at the same time. Sneaky. In the suit, Gerke says she was the only North Andover superior officer who had prior years of service with the town of Hingham and who would be adversely affected by the change in language. So it only affected one person, her. This rule change that they made. It says she complained to Casey about the change, requested a meeting. No such meeting occurred. Additionally, when she was served as the town's resource officer and court officer and firearms officer, she complained to Gray, who was then a lieutenant, that her position should be separate. So she's basically holding all these different positions, and they're screwing her out of money on several fronts. This is what they do to women. They load you up with work, but they don't give you the credit for it, or the titles, or the pay. I'm not saying this happens everywhere. Obviously, it does not. Good employers don't do this, but it seems like that's what she's alleging in this situation with Chief Gray. The suit says the recommendation was not well received by Gray, and that Gerke eventually resigned. So she had enough. She was like, if I'm not going to get extra pay, and you're not going to hire more people, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to be the school resource officer. According to the suit, Gerke never was promoted to detective, which was retaliatory and done as a consequence of expressing her dissatisfaction with Gray's decision-making. And I have to say, this right here, this quote, is not the first time I've heard it from a North Andover police, the other person I heard it from was an ex-North Andover police officer. I'm not going to name them. I'm going to keep that source close to my vest. But they said the same exact thing. that when they didn't do what the chief wanted, special favors for the chief, they were never going to become anything beyond what they were, which was a patrolman. They were never going to be promoted. And that's the way that Chief Gray operates, is what I've been told. And this is what I'm hearing. I don't know if it's a fact, but it's what I heard from one source, and it seems very spot on with this quote from Gerke. Let's go on. According to the suit, Gray took over as chief in March 2016 and began to implement and foster a culture of discriminatory and harassing conduct. So basically, this guy took over and the culture changed. It became a harassing, discrimination. That was the conduct within the police department. Toxic. The suit says that Gerke's support of a female officer who filed a Massachusetts Commission Against Discrimination complaint against the town of North Andover negatively impacted Gray's opinion of Gerke. So basically what happened here, too, think about this. Another female officer filed a lawsuit. This is another way of filing a lawsuit. You can go into Essex Superior or District Court or Federal Court and file a lawsuit. The state also offers this Commission Against Discrimination where you can file complaints, which are really lawsuits. You can also do that with the Massachusetts Commission Against Discrimination. And that's what this another officer had done. So basically another officer, female officer, had filed suit against the town of North Andover. And Gray was like, "Oh, you supported her? You're in the shithouse. I'm not promoting you." So she called it out in the lawsuit. So think about this. 2 women have filed suit. 2 North Andover police officers before Kelsey came along. According to the Eagle Tribune, the MAGCAD complaint was filed by former North Andover police officer Kara Caffrey. Let me say that again. Officer Kara Caffrey Rowley in 2019. Kara Caffrey Rowley in 2019. The suit, according to the newspaper, alleged that Gray engaged in a continuous pattern of demeaning and discriminatory behavior towards Caffrey Rowley. Jeez, does this keep coming up? Gerke says it. Caffrey Rowley says it. I'm pretty sure if we talk to Kelsey, she's probably going to say the same thing. In Gerke's suit, she alleges that the department refused to offer any critical incident stress management. Do you see that? To those North Andover officers who responded to the scene of Columbia gas explosions in 2018. So again, Gerke's noting one of the most horrific responses that you could respond to. I know people who went there, reporters, and the Columbia gas explosions in Lawrence and North Andover were horrific. And she's saying they didn't offer us any stress management. They offered us nothing. And that's why I started tonight playing the Kelsey video where she just, she's pregnant and she's at a horrific crime scene. And she didn't get any stress management. It's in the lawsuit about a different incident from a different officer. This is the culture over there. Be tough, get bullied, go along with it. That allegedly, from what I'm hearing, from what I'm reading in these lawsuits, my opinion, the suit notes that Gerke also informed the department's director of human resources about, this is where it gets really wild. If you're a police chief, the last thing you should be doing is playing friggin' pranks on your officers. Especially these kinds of pranks. It's one thing if your prank is, giving somebody a new car. That's okay. You want to prank somebody, give them a brand new car? Great. That's an okay prank. That's not really a prank. That's right. But this guy's doing stupid shit. Let's just read this. The suit notes that I'm going to check in with the stream right now. How's everyone doing? I haven't checked in enough. I'm just so fired up about this shit. All right. Thank you so much, Miss Holmes. You were great. You have a nice profile too. Thank you so much, Miss Holmes, for the super chat tonight. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the officers definitely get PTSD. This is the same department that doesn't have enough money for body cams, but they got money apparently. All right, I'm going to keep going. The suit notes that Gerke also informed the department's director of human sources. Okay, about the prank. So we read that. So unprofessional environment at the department that was being fostered by Chief Gray. So Chief Gray, it wasn't just a culture where the chief didn't know people were bullies in the department. Chief Gray was leading it. He was the chief bully. Oh, it's funny. Let's prank these officers. Let's prank the female officers. All right, let's read on. The pranks, according to the suit, including putting a barricade in front of the elevator to prevent anyone from exiting the elevator. Think about how unsafe that is. You're a safety. Police are supposed to be about safety first, right? And here's a prank. We're going to put a barricade in front of the elevator so that people can't get out of the elevator. Imagine if you were claustrophobic or God forbid there was a fire or a response. Maybe somebody got in a horrific car accident and 1 minute being late to it decides whether someone lives or dies, or a shooting. These people are putting barricades in front of the elevator, allegedly. Let's go on. Meanwhile, the suit says that Gray also performed pranks that including adding salt into officers' coffee and involving officers' personal vehicles and moving cars. He's moving their officers' cars from the parking lot to remote locations. I mean, think about this. This is stuff that I stopped doing when I was like 12 years old. You're putting salt into people's coffee. Like, really? And you like think about if a Starbucks worker did that to a cop. Imagine if a cop showed up for coffee and the Starbucks worker poured salt into the coffee cup as a prank. How do you think that would be tolerated? I don't think it would. I think people would go nuts about it. And I think the cops would make a big deal. And instead, these cops are getting bullied by their chief. It's not the guy at Starbucks doing it. It's their friggin' chief. And not only that, he's moving their cars. He's actually moving their friggin' property. Imagine, I wouldn't want my fucking boss in my car. If my boss goes in my car, I'm quitting. I'm done. I'm out of there, dude. Guy goes in their cars and moves their vehicles allegedly to remote locations. Can you imagine if you have a husband or wife or kids and an emergency happens and you can't find your friggin' car because your boss moved it as a prank on you? Ha ha ha! Really funny, boss. All the shit that they have to put up with. Now they have to put up with this boss. How many of you would put up with that? That's what it is too. And the reason they do this stuff, the reason a boss will do that shit is because they want to test people. They want to see how much do you need this job? How loyal are you to me? How much of my bullshit will you put up with? That's what that is. It's not funny, not a joke. It's to test you. It's to say, hey, can you handle my bullshit? Will you cry about it? Will you be upset? Or will you just take my shit? That's what that is. Kathleen, this woman wouldn't take the shit. And the other woman either. In the suit, Gerke says she also repeatedly complained about the poor condition of the women's locker room at the police station. The men's locker room was in much better condition, she says. However, Gerke alleges her complaints or continual complaints about unprofessional conduct, disparate treatment, the condition and disparity between the men and women's locker rooms, resulting in being branded as a troublemaker by her superiors within the department, including Chief Gray, according to the lawsuit. See, if Chief Gray was a real leader, he might say, you know what? I understand about the women's locker room. There's more men. So obviously they have a nicer locker room because it's, we're trying to focus on helping the most people we can in our department, and the women was kind of an afterthought. Unfortunately, we'll try to fix it over time. But some of these other things we can take care of the unprofessional conduct. We can do some of the things like that. He should have been honest and had a conversation with them instead of actually like addressing the issues and telling them what they could do or what they couldn't do, and having a conversation about it and saying, hey, we're going to move in the right direction. It may take us a little while, but we're going to move in the right direction. Instead, he called them troublemakers. They're her bosses, her supervisors, who were his employees. Also, according to the suit, Gray commented to Gerke that female officers who file complaints are setting themselves up for a payday, implying that the reason females file complaints is to be compensated from a lawsuit. So basically, again, gaslighting. Instead of saying, you know what? When someone files a complaint, let's look at the allegations in the complaint. Nope, it's all about they're setting themselves up for a payday. I don't think that Officer Gerke was looking for a payday. I don't. She seems like she's a hard worker. She was the school resource officer. She was the weapons, the safety. She was a worker. When you have people who do the job and do the work and they're doing multiple things, I don't look at those people looking for a payday. I look at those people as wanting to work hard and move ahead and move up. Instead, this guy's like, "Oh, you filed the complaint. You're looking for a payday." Patch reached out to Gray about the lawsuit, but did not get a response. North Andover Town Manager Melissa Rodriguez said in an email, as a matter of policy, the town doesn't comment on litigation or personal matters. So here we go. We got a chief who thinks women who file complaints are looking for a payday. He doesn't seem to care about mental health. And that's what my sources are telling me on the record here, on the record in this story. Basically, that's what one of the complaints were. The pranks thing. I mean, the whole moving cars. Like, that's juvenile shit. And think about that. Two female officers filed lawsuits against the town and him. Kelsey is arguably the third female officer that's had issues with the town of North Andover and this police chief. You have to start to ask yourself, especially if you're a citizen and a taxpayer in town, is there a problem with this police chief and women and his employees? And is he fostering a toxic environment for his employees? Is he still doing the pranks? Has there been any independent investigation of the police chief's management skills and the environment? Let's watch Chief Gray and the DA. This is the day they did a press conference about the Kelsey Fitzsimmons. You're going to see him come in on the right. He's the first guy. Just keep an eye on him from the moment he and notice how he reacts to the question on body cameras again too. Because from what I'm hearing, this guy didn't want body cameras. So think about that too. Chief Gray, if you had a body camera, this wouldn't be an issue right now, right? Let's watch Chief Gray.
We'll start in a minute. Is everybody all set? All right. Chief? Thanks everybody for being here. My name is Paul Tucker, Chief CKER. I'm the District Attorney for Essex County. I'm here with Chief Gray and members of his command staff. First, let me say thank you all for your patience last evening. As you can imagine, when an event takes place at 6 p.m. and we're all looking for answers, I know you had lots of questions last night, the public had lots of questions. Well, we thought that everyone would be better served by getting as many preliminary facts as we could and then putting it out today, obviously with an eye toward being as transparent as we can given the circumstances. Last evening, shortly after 6 p.m., 3 North Andover police officers went to 125 Phillips Brook Road in North Andover. And the purpose of going there was to serve a court-approved restraining order. The subject of the restraining order was 28-year-old Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Ms. Fitzsimmons is an off-duty North Andover police officer. She has approximately a year and a half on the job here with NAPD. 3 North Andover police officers were on the scene, one of whom was a supervisor. When one of the officers was escorting Ms. Fitzsimmons during the service of the court order, a non-confrontation took place. As a result of that confrontation, one of the responding officers discharged their weapon, which struck Ms. Fitzsimmons once. She was immediately given medical care. She was med-flighted to a Boston hospital, and as of this morning, we're told she is in stable condition. The officer that discharged the firearm is a veteran officer, having served over 20 years with the department. Now, as you can imagine, we're only about 16 hours out from this incident. There are still lots of questions. There's an ongoing investigation. Currently, the investigation is being done by Massachusetts State Police detectives assigned to my office at the Essex DA's office under the direction of Captain John Costa and Detective Lieutenant Robert DeMeo. There are lots of interviews to be done. There are lots of pieces to be put together. There's lots of things that remain unanswered. But for now, we want to make sure that the people of North Andover and across the Commonwealth know as much as we can give out at this time, being as transparent as we can. We also know that serving restraining orders, court-approved restraining orders, are sometimes some of the most dangerous duties that police officers encounter, no matter who the object of that order is. Chief Gray has been a great partner with us, not only through this investigation, but through many others. I want to make sure we give the chief an opportunity to speak, particularly about his officers, and sometimes we worry deeply about the wellness of our police officers as well, particularly in difficult circumstances, so they're in our thoughts.
Paul Tucker, DA Paul Tucker. Have you read the lawsuits filed against Chief Gray, Paul Tucker? I mean, you just made a statement of fact that we all care about the mental health of police officers. Kelsey was 20 plus weeks pregnant.
Chief Gray.
Chief Gray didn't offer her a day off. Chief Gray didn't offer her shit when she walked in on a dead baby who was stabbed to death by her mom. Chief Gray didn't offer her anything. He offered her a free pizza, apparently. That's what I'm hearing. I heard Chief Gray doesn't think officers need any help for mental health. That's what I'm hearing. So, Paul, I want to know what you're hearing, because it seems like Paul Tucker, police chief, former police chief of Salem, you guys are buddies, right? You guys are both were police chief level, right? Do you have an affinity to all the police chiefs, Paul? Because you were police chief. Like, how do you know that this guy cares about mental health of his officers? Did you read the lawsuit filed against him? Or are you just talking out your ass, Paul Tucker?
Thank you. Just some quick words on what happened.
Yeah, they offered her fucking
It's an
pizza.
ongoing investigation, like
Yeah,
the
she
DA
saw a
said.
dead
Not much we
baby.
can talk about.
She went to see a
We're
dead
for all the
baby.
officers on
And they
duty
and they,
off
they
duty,
didn't even send her
and
home.
we just
Apparently,
don't-
they made her sit outside the house and do security after. How many weeks pregnant? Let me read how many weeks pregnant she was. That's what they do to a young officer. Yeah, 20 weeks pregnant. They're like, oh, you want some pizza? No days off, even. I wonder what this police union in North Andover, too, the Patrolmen's Association, what are they offering, Kelsey? I heard shit. You're going to look into all these idiots. Here's a friggin' pizza.
Monitor and hopefully get some results.
We will be able to take some questions, and to the extent that the chief and I are
What did
able
he say?
to
Did
answer
he?
them, we
What,
will.
what the hell did this
As you can
clown say?
imagine,
I want to
over
watch
the
it
next few
again.
days,
I just,
we'll probably be getting more answers.
what did he say? What did he pretended to like this is the funniest shit too, because I keep playing this. You could see how full of shit he knows he is. He's hoping no one else notices. I'm glad this was recorded. I'm glad Paul Tucker did us all a favor and recorded this for us. Watch this guy.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
You want to say about how you care about the health
Thank
health
you.
of do you want to tell us how you care about the health of your workers, the other police officers?
Well, particularly in difficult circumstances, so they're in our thoughts. Chief Gray.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Just some quick words on what happened. It's an ongoing investigation, like the DA said. There's not much we can talk about. We're concerned for all the officers on duty and off duty, and we're just going to monitor and hopefully get some results.
We're gonna get some results. What are the results gonna be? What are the friggin' results, dude? What results? You gonna investigate yourself? What a jack! Well, you shouldn't say shit. I can't comment at the investigation, but we're gonna get results. The officer just shot your other officer. It's a worst possible outcome, and you're saying we're gonna get results. You're not even involved in the investigation at this point. Why are you even speaking? The Mass State Police have taken over. Results. What results, dude? I'm flabbergasted. You're gonna offer Noonan a pizza tonight? Is that? I'm wondering if that's what he gave Noonan. Oh, you shot Kelsey. Here's a friggin' pizza tonight. Did you give him like was that pepperoni on it? The fuck? We're gonna get results. Did he really say that? We're gonna get results. Your officer shot another officer on a restraining order.
And we're just going to monitor and hopefully get some results.
Hopefully, we'll get some results. The results, dude, were your officer shooting another police officer who had a young baby. Who has a young baby. With the baby in the vicinity. And I don't know about what Jessica Machado reported. I tried to find out. I can't confirm or deny what Jessica Machado reported about Kelsey possibly being pregnant. If that's true, that's even sicker. I don't know if it's true. We're going to get some results. What results are you going to get, dude? You didn't get the attempted murder charge. That didn't get indicted, did it, dude? What results are you getting? You're going to get some results. What a jackass. He can't talk about the mental health of his workers because he knows he's full of shit. Paul Tucker just teed it up like, oh, we're so concerned about the mental health of police officers. Right, Police Chief Gray? Well, watch this again. Let's watch this one part again. Look how weak this guy is. This fake friggin' tough guy. He is a fake tough guy. He's not tough. He's a weak-ass punk. Look at him. I can already tell. Allegedly.
We worry deeply about the wellness of our police officers as well, particularly in difficult circumstances, so they're in our thoughts. Chief Gray.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Just some quick words on what happened. It's an ongoing investigation.
Quick words on what happened. It's an ongoing investigation. We're not going to say anything. Let's get some results. Like, are you shitting me, dude? Are you shitting me right now?
Like the DA said, there's not much we can talk about. We're concerned for all the officers on duty and off duty, and we're just going to monitor and hopefully get some results.
We're going to monitor and hopefully get some results. Look at the other cops. Look at their faces. Look at the one on the far right. He's looking down. He knows how full of shit he is. He's been probably... These two guys have probably been pranked a lot by this punk. Now you get ahead in Chief Gray's world, right? You take all his shit.
We will be able to take some questions, and to the extent that the chief and I are able to answer them, we will. As you can imagine, over the next few days, we'll probably be getting more answers. There are lots of interviews being done. Our state police detectives worked well into the night last night. We spoke with them this morning. They're already out this morning. So to the extent that we can answer some questions, we will. Some we may have to defer for a little bit more time. We're going to make sure that what we do give you is accurate information rather than speculation. I know you all appreciate that as well. So having said that,
He's not pulling any pranks today, is he? He's not doing any. He's not all jokey. I guarantee he's not hiding the DA's car. I bet Paul Tucker has Police Chief Gray ever gone into your car and moved it, like, moved it down to Salem Willows? I know you got an office downtown Salem. Has Chief Gray ever gotten into your police car and like drove in it to Salem Willows and not told you as a joke? Does he do that to you? I'm guessing he doesn't do that to you, Paul Tucker. I guess he doesn't do that to you, right, Paul? He only does that to the little people, the underlings. They have to take his shit, right? He's not jokey with you, is he? That's how you know they're full of shit. Not doing it to Paul Tucker.
we can take some questions and we'll do the best we can to answer.
DA, was the off-duty officer armed, and what precipitated the on-duty officer to fire at her?
So what we're saying is accurately that there was an armed confrontation. In terms of the details of that and how that came to be, it was during the service of the court-approved restraining order. But the very granular details, we're waiting to speak on until we get the interviews back from our state police detectives who are speaking with the North Andover officers that were involved.
How about the restraining order? Can you tell us at all the nature of that? Who was it for, et cetera?
So I can't comment on who the plaintiff was, but I can tell you that a court order, there are check boxes. Oftentimes it's stay away from, no contact, and turn over all firearms. So the restraining order was a standard 209A filed by the plaintiff and served by the North Andover office.
Were the officers going to retrieve her weapon?
Pursuant to the court order, one of the standard boxes to check is retrieval of any firearms in the home. That's standard.
With her. They claim she had issues before this, and they didn't. The first thing wasn't securing the weapon; it was to follow her through the house. I mean, these guys are morons. They're sitting up here. Look at them. Look at Chief Gray. Keep up the lack of training, bro.
Operating.
Can you say where she was struck?
This is Canton Police level of incompetence over here. North Andover Police Department. Canton Police Department. Very similar vibe.
Can you say how many people were in the house at the time, including Ms. Fitzsimmons?
I can tell you that there were 3 North Andover Police Officers. In terms of other people in the house,
There were actually 4 North Andover police officers there. One was off duty. Her name was Kelsey. So you got 4 North Andover police officers, DA, former police chief Tucker, and all 4 of them have different accounts what was said and what went down.
until I get the full reports back, I won't be able to tell you how many and who they were.
Is there any body camera footage of what happened?
We're actually looking to see what camera footage is available. I have not seen any, and I don't have any reports on any.
Do North Andover police officers typically have body cameras on when they're executing these warrants?
I'm trying to, oh man. North Andover Police may not have body cameras, but there is video. There is video. A lot of stuff from the day. I don't know if there's actual video of that incident, but there's a lot of video that I believe is going to come into play here too. We'll see.
I'm sorry, these court orders?
Not from the
No,
police.
the North Andover Police Department does not use body cameras at this time.
Can you speak at all to her mental health, and also was this related at all to her efforts to have, her weapon was taken away from her, and then she had sought relief in the courts, and I think it was Friday she dismissed that. Is this related to that at all?
So the scope of our investigation right now is the actual armed confrontation. I'm sure that there'll be further information coming out. I'm sure that North Andover PD will be looking at that as well. But in terms of commentary on her mental health, I'm not comfortable speaking on that at this time.
Can you talk at all about the efforts that, she sought to have her weapon given back to her? Can you speak to that at all, what that situation was and why?
So, Chief of Personnel Matter?
Personnel matter, yes.
Okay.
Chief, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it is a personnel matter, so we're not going to speak about anything like that. Yes, ma'am.
I know you guys are pros, but can you speak about how you're all feeling today? Not just the 3 responding officers, how you're feeling? What's the mood?
I mean, it's a critical incident, and like a lot of critical incidents that police officers deal with, we all have our own way of, getting through it, whether together or by ourselves, and this is no different.
Chief, she was a member of the department. Did she know the officers who were coming to her home?
Deal with it. We all deal with it. We all deal with it.
Everyone know each other?
I would assume so, yes.
Can you talk about her as an officer on the department, what she was like, why she wanted to become a police officer?
At this time, I'm not comfortable talking about that sort of thing.
How about in terms of charges? I mean, will there be some charges at some point in time? And I would ask you just one other thing, that we had reports that she may have been involved in an incident in Maine at an Airbnb over the weekend, and then was involved in an accident on the Maine Turnpike. Is there any truth to that? Can you speak to that at all?
Not specifically as to what occurred prior to what we've spoken about already, but with the lead up to it certainly would be something that would be part of the investigation. And you had a first.
I just wondered about charges. At what point in time would she be charged? Would you wait till she came out of the hospital? Do you know how long she might be there, et cetera?
So we don't know how long she'll be treated. The good news is that she's in stable condition. In terms of charging, there will be meetings between our state police detectives and our senior trial team. We've already met this morning. As of right now, I can't tell you what those charges will be, except to say that our senior trial team will be working with the detectives, and to the extent that charges will come forward, they will fit what took place here.
Well, I'm sorry to, but in terms of what's her status with the department right now, Chief? Is she suspended, administrative, et cetera?
Right now, it's on administrative leave.
How about the other officers that are on leave?
Again, this is like the DA said, it's 16 hours old, so we're assessing the other officers, and we're going through our policies and determining what sort of actions we be taken as far as time off or any sort of other methods.
Are you able to say how long she's been on administrative leave?
I think we'll just leave it at that she was on administrative leave. And I also.
At the time of the incident, she was on administrative leave?
She was, we'll just say she was on administrative leave, and that leave obviously is now going to be extended. So we'll just leave it at that. I do want to make a comment, though. There's been 3 questions, and I think that all of them are very good questions when it comes to officers' mental health. And think about the things that police officers have to face. Now, you take a look at the circumstances that are known to us that occurred in this particular incident. We worry deeply about the mental health of our officers. I know Chief Gray does worry greatly about his officers, as do I. I was a 32-year police officer myself. I know the struggles that the officers have, and I appreciate the questions. And I just don't want it to be lost in the swirl of the headlines that these are humans. These are police officers that have to make quick decisions, that use of potentially using deadly force. This is something that should not go unnoticed or unappreciated by the public. So I appreciate your questions on that.
Is she under guard at the hospital?
So we never comment on if somebody's under guard or what the security is at the hospital. That's just something that we routinely do not comment on.
You know, I sort of asked this question before, and you may have said that you couldn't answer it, but related to her weapon, did she have it in possession at the time of this or not? I know you said that the boxes are checked, and you know did she have her weapon been returned to her? Did she have it?
So we're not commenting on the weapons. All I can tell you is that on the order, there was the check box if there were weapons home to retrieve them, which we would have done if they were there. All right? All right, well, thanks, everybody. Again, I appreciate your patience last night and coming back today. I know this is a matter of great public interest, and we wanted to make sure that rather than come out last night and not really have much for you, we rather than be expeditious about it, we wanted to make sure that we were accurate and factual. So to that extent, I want to thank all of you for coming back. So, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Comments about the fiance, Justin. What's interesting about hold on, let me make sure I get this video off. What's interesting about the situation is that he's filed for the equity in her home. And from my understanding, why she wants to sell her home is obviously what happened in that home. And this guy wants to take advantage of it. A home that he didn't pay for. I'm just gonna say, Justin, buddy, starting to like look into some stuff about some of your statements and some of the stuff you said, and it's not matching up, dude. It's not matching up. Like how you went back to the house and got your gun when you said you were afraid. You were afraid for your life. There's a lot not matching up, Justin. I'll go with what Turtle Boy said. I like what Turtle Boy said. I heard you're a scumbag, Justin. I don't know. I don't know yet. Allegedly. But it's, I mean, geez, it looks like you might be. Are you a scumbag? I just wonder. I mean, I'm already. I mean, geez. He goes after her. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's the mother of your kids. You know, you would actually, I get if you think she's so dangerous and all this other crap. You'd want custody of your child, but to go after her like that on the money situation right now, especially when she's not behind, she doesn't like nothing's been settled yet, and it looks very transparent, dude. Especially with some of your statements, Justin. Some of your statements. Your motives are going to be questioned, dude. I don't know if you realize this, Justin. You may be able to get away with bullshit in your life and other places. Maybe you're protected, but these eyes, we're going to see through it. We're going to see through it. And a lot of the people watching are going to see through it. And they're already digging through your shit. I haven't even put all the comments up about you tonight, Justin, if you're watching. There's a lot of negative comments to you, Justin. I think people are already on to you. And I'll tell you what, Justin, maybe you should call me. Give me a call, Justin. I want to hear your side of the story. Why don't you come on the show and talk about it? Tell us why you think you deserve Kelsey's house money that she earned and saved. Yeah, I wonder. Does he have a new girlfriend? When did he get the new girlfriend? He seems pretty. I don't know if you noticed. Justin seems pretty. He's like everyone. Turtle Boy talked about Kelsey. She's an attractive woman. She's pretty, but so is he. He's a pretty boy. He looks like the hell's his name? Zac Efron. He's like on remember when Zac Efron was so pretty? He's on that level. He's definitely a pretty boy, Justin. I wonder if he's a ladies' man. Does he have a lot of girlfriends? I just wonder about this guy. Some of the things I'm already seeing. I not like I said, I don't know. I've heard he's a scumbag. I don't know. I'm still waiting to find out. But the stuff I'm kind of seeing, I'm not liking. Like you're scared for your life, but then you go to the house to get your gun, right? And get your shit, right? Where she's at. And she's got her gun. You know it. Like that's kind of weird. Yeah, I hope Justin's watching. I hope Justin gives me a call. Justin, I'll give you my number right now. 978-502-4080. Justin. Nobody else. Just Justin. Call me. Yeah, I want to know. That's the question I have. Is he trying to destroy Kelsey, and how long has he been planning it? Someone says, I think he's a man's man. Who's that, Surfer Rosa? What does that mean? You think Justin's a man's man? He was scared. He told the police he was scared for his life, and then he went to her house without any police escort. That's what I'm seeing here. Is that a man's man? I don't know. It seems kind of conflicted. Maybe Surfer Rosa is Justin, or maybe it's Justin's new girlfriend. I don't know. This seems sus to me. Yeah, it seems kind of freeloading to me. You know? You know, another thing I noticed this week, guys, too. Let me just and again, I have no idea, but geez, the name McCarthy keeps coming up a lot. You know, you look at the shooter, the guy, Patrick, apparently McCarthy Noonan is his full name. McCarthy is the judge's name, right? And the former fire chief who retired just like in the last couple of years for North Andover, his last name was also McCarthy. And guess what, guys? Guess what else? He was also like Patrick McCarthy Noonan, a former Lawrence police officer. I mean, it could be nothing, guys, but I'm already getting McAlbert feels to this. I'm already getting like these folks all know each other. McCarthy. Isn't it interesting? Justin, I believe, has friends. More friends in the hackocracy over there in North Andover than Kelsey ever had. I think that's pretty obvious. Well, I'd like to check into that. Lisa, thank you. I'll have to check that out. Melanie does great work. You know what I want to do? I want to go to this right now, which is this is retired FBI agent who I had on the Grace Curley show on Friday. She looked into Kelsey Fitzsimmons and she had some questions. And Judge Gray, maybe you should listen to this woman. I know it seems like you don't really have a lot of respect for women in law enforcement, allegedly, from the complaints that I'm seeing. Maybe you'll listen to this one, a special FBI agent. And maybe, Chief Gray, you might want to rewind it a few times, because I got to say, she throws out so many facts, it's going to make your slow head spin. You might want to take notes, Chief Gray. Jodine Weber on the Grace Curley show with me. This is what she had to say about this situation with Kelsey Fitzsimmons, the North Andover police officer that was shot by her partner in the chest.
From the Aviva Trattoria studio, it's the Grace Curley Show.
You either have grace or you don't.
Read Grace's work in The Spectator and see her recommended reading at gracecurleyshow.com.
She's got to take a drug test. There's no way somebody can act that way and be normal.
Now, here's the millennial with the mic.
Grace Curley.
Grace Curley.
Grace Curley.
Grace Curley.
Grace Curley, host of the Grace Curley Show.
Grace Curley.
Grace!
Welcome. It's Mike Crawford. I am filling in for Grace Curley. Welcome to the Grace Curley Show. Happy Friday, everybody. Say it's a little funny in the beginning of the video because YouTube makes us zap the music out of it, or we can't really use it. So I'm dancing along, I'm all amped up because there's music playing on the radio, but YouTube has a problem with it. So we zap the music out of it when we post it up on YouTube. So just to let you know. It's funny to me. I cringe. I can't hear the music. All right, let's watch this. Exciting day here. Hey, I'm the local guy. We have quite a few local stories to cover. From Monica, Ken, and Grant, I definitely want to discuss that today if we have some time. But we have a bunch of experts here. 4 different guests, I believe, we're going to try to get on the show today. 3 of them are from out of town, out of state, but they're covering the corruption in Massachusetts. So I am very excited for the show today. We're going to have attorney Corey Hopkins, who has sued the state of Massachusetts over FOIA request about the cost to prosecute Karen Reed. We will be talking to her later today. We got a local guy in studio, Michael, who wants to recall bad politicians in Massachusetts. We will discuss his ballot initiative. We're hoping to also have Brother Counsel, who's got a great YouTube channel, on later in the show. He's also an attorney. But right now, we have a retired FBI agent. She's got a podcast on Patreon called Caught in the Web. She also has a book, a fiction book. Some of the proceeds are going to 911 first responders. She is an author. The book is called The Bold-Faced Deception. It is also coming up on Christmas, so it's a great time to buy your books. I'm definitely going to buy that book. And the Howie Carr book, Mass Corruption. Mass Corruption, you got to get that book as well. I'm going to get these books for Christmas for special people in my life. It's that time of year. Books are always a great thing to buy. I think Jodine is on the phone right now. Welcome to the, I almost said the wrong name, to the Grace Curley Show. Welcome to the Grace Curley Show, Jodine Weber. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, Mike. Thank you so much for having me on.
Doing great. Happy Friday to you. But one of the things I wanted to discuss is you just did a Patreon podcast about Kelsey Fitzsimmons.
I did. I am fascinated by this case. I'm fascinated by the aspects of the shooting and the controversy surrounding how she got shot. I'm fascinated by the incarceration of her, about the Scram testing, and by the behavior of the judge. It's very concerning all the way around.
Yes, definitely. And for background for people that maybe don't know, Kelsey Fitzsimmons is a North Andover police officer who had some postpartum depression, had an incident with her fiance. The police showed up. Her partner actually shot her in the chest. It's quite a bit of controversy about what actually happened here. We don't really know, but it kind of went viral this week when the judge went a little bit in a frenzy about the terms of her release from prison. I did talk to Kelsey the day she was released from prison. She's a very tiny individual. The person who shot her, the police officer, is a large man, very large. And for some reason, the judge is very concerned that this woman is going to cause harm to the police officer that shot her. I don't believe that. I think a lot of people have concerns about it. I would like to play the clip if we have that. We're going to play the clip from the judge so people get an idea about what this judge is saying. And really what this has to do with is that she has been shot. She's got severe lung damage, two broken ribs, diaphragm issues. She's not able to breathe into this tube for drug testing, alcohol testing, which is terms of her release. Her attorney wanted to change it to a different form of drug testing because it was hurting her. And this is the judge's response.
Tolerate that the material represented in the
court is not tolerating anything. Okay, let's be clear. I'm not tolerating anything. The court is not tolerating anything. Ms. Fitzsimmons is a defendant. In lieu of incarceration, my order was that she submit to Scram. If she cannot do that, I need to know that. Can she do that or not?
Excellent. Jodine, you heard that, I'm sure, this week as well, because it did go viral. What did you think about the judge and her demeanor here in the terms of the release?
Well, I did hear it, and I felt it was highly punitive. I felt, in a way, she was really holding the physical limitations of the defendant against the defendant when she's demanding, well, can she do it or not? It's not that she can't do it. It's that doing it causes her further damage. Her ribs are not able to heal. It's hurting her liver. It's hurting her lungs. It's hurting her diaphragm. And it's causing her substantial pain. So in good faith, they come to court and let the court know, yes, we want to comply with the conditions set by the court. However, there have been unforeseen health complications that have arisen. Can we have an alternative? And to me, it's as if the judge is taking offense to that, as if she's taking this personally. And especially when they talk about, well, this is almost a cruel and unusual situation. To me, the judge came across as, well, I'm offended by what you're allegedly accusing the court of. You knew these were the conditions. If she can't comply, well, then she's not in compliance and we need to put her back into jail, which, by the way, also presents a potential threat to her. She was a law enforcement officer. She's a former corrections officer. If the inmates within the jail learn of that history and her involvement as part of a member of law enforcement, that could also put her at risk. So I think there's quite a few issues here with the judge and the conduct of the judge.
Absolutely. And the judge didn't seem to care about the fact the probation officer kept saying she's in compliance. She's done everything right. They're just looking to change the testing method. It shouldn't be that hard. They had some options.
Well,
she pretended they didn't have any options.
Well, that's it. My understanding is there's an ankle bracelet that essentially could do a similar monitoring. There could be urinalysis testing done. And the judge is like, well, the whole point is to keep you at home. And if you have to go somewhere to do urinalysis testing, then you're leaving the house. And that creates a problem I don't want created. So I do think, though, it's just unreasonable. And it also, on the surface level of it, appears very insensitive. This young woman has been shot. She was hospitalized for approximately 50 days or so. She clearly has injuries to this part of her body that could hamper breathing into a device. It's one of those devices where you have to breathe for an extended period of time, hold that breath. I don't think it's unusual or unprecedented to foresee that could be something that could cause her difficulty given her recent injuries.
Now, there's a lot of questions about what actually happened and led to the shooting. One of the big issues, I think, for the town of North Andover where this happened is there were no body cameras. What's your take on what happened and the lack of body cameras there as well?
Well, I have a problem with the lack of body cameras. I think all law enforcement officers should have body cameras for their own protection as well as those in the public that they interface with. That's number one. If we had body cameras here, we wouldn't have all these questions. But I will say, even before these three officers arrived at her home, I have a problem with they didn't have a plan in place for presenting her with this information and having some sort of plan of, hey, this may upset you. We will need to take your gun. We will need to take your baby. For your safety and ours, where is your weapon located? Are there other weapons, firearms in the home? We're going to need to take those. We don't want you to get upset. We don't want her to have access to those weapons. So there should have been a plan in place before they ever walked in the front door. And clearly there wasn't. Because eventually, as she's packing up the gear for the baby within the home, eventually she and this Officer Noonan go into a bedroom. And why they allowed her into the bedroom, why they didn't say to her, all right, what other supplies do we need for the child? Where are they located? We will go get them. Because you never want to have someone who could be potentially a risk to themselves, upset, could either harm officers or participate in self-harm. You don't want to give them access to whatever else is located in the home, whether it's a firearm, whether it's scissors, whether it's razor blades, anything of that nature. So the fact that this one officer went alone with her into this bedroom, now he claims that she reached for the gun and pulled the trigger and he felt he was in imminent danger and he shot her in the chest. Her version is she picked up the firearm and intended self-harm, put it up to her head, pulled the trigger, and the gun did not go off. Now, to me, typically when a gun doesn't go off, it's one of two things. Either a round has jammed within the chamber and needs to be cleared, or the gun wasn't loaded in the first place. Now, the officer says that when the gun did not go off, she attempted to reload. Now, reloading is different than clearing a weapon. If you have a round in the chamber that jams and the gun doesn't go off when you pull the trigger, then typically what you do is you rack the action and try to clear that jam round and expel it through the slide of the weapon, and then a new round will cycle up into the chamber. He's saying reload, which to me suggests either a magazine was dropped out of the weapon and a new loaded magazine was inserted, or the weapon was never loaded in the first place, which is why it didn't fire, and then she attempted to load a magazine with ammunition in it.
Wow. This is something to discuss, definitely, and look into. I want to thank Jodine Weber, retired FBI agent. We're going to keep you for across this break right now, and I want to thank you for being here. We'll be right back with retired FBI agent Jodine Weber. This is the Grace Curley Show.
This is the Grace Curley Show.
Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back to the Grace Curley Show. My name is Mike Crawford. we have retired FBI agent Jodine Weber, author of the book, The Bold-Faced Deception, a great book of fiction you can check out. Also, she has a podcast, Caught in the Web is the podcast on Patreon. Jodine Weber, you were just talking about Kelsey Fitzsimmons before the break and some of the issues with what might have happened that day. There's been a lot of concerns about what actually did happen that day in terms of not checking, getting the gun out of the house before they let her roam around the house. There's also some other issues I wanted to maybe touch base on with this in terms of North Andover Police Department has several lawsuits filed in the past against this police chief and this police department, two female officers alleging sexual harassment. Lindsay is really the third female police officer to have issues at the North Andover Police Department. Do you think that's an issue in this case, the leadership of the North Andover Police, or not? Am I reading too much into that? What do you think as an retired FBI agent, Jodine?
Well, we'd have to see. Did she ever file any previous complaints about any of the other officers in the department with any sort of sexual harassment or retaliation for filing a complaint of potential sexual harassment? But again, this is where the lack of cameras, body cameras, really becomes a problem, because it becomes a he said, she said situation, very similar to a sexual harassment allegation. Now, one of the things with this officer, did he give her any oral commands? Drop your weapon. Let me see your hands. Because if he did and she didn't obey, that could be a justified shooting. However, we don't know because there is no camera footage. Additionally, did he have other measures with him? Did he have pepper spray, pepper gel? Did he have an aspeton? Did he have a taser? Anything he could have used besides his firearm to try to get the weapon away from her? Is there any sort of history of bad blood between her and any of the management within this department? All of that needs to be looked at.
Definitely. One other thing I want to look at today is the Karen Reed case, because you did cover that as well. And I know that you're a retired FBI agent. The big question, it's going back to court this next week in terms of the civil trial against Karen. Her attorneys are pretty much saying that they're going to also have their own lawsuit against the state of Massachusetts. But the big question that a lot of us have in Massachusetts is, what are the feds going to do? They said they closed down the investigation. You're a former FBI agent, special agent. What do you think's going on with the FBI and Karen Reed right now?
Well, I think the FBI is beholden to the Department of Justice since the change in the administration back after the inauguration. And so every new administration that comes in can set their own priorities. And so Department of Justice tells the FBI, as well as the other federal law enforcement agencies, what cases they will prosecute and which cases they won't. So if this doesn't fall as the type of public corruption or priority within this administration's priorities, then it won't be prosecuted. Even if the FBI thinks they've got a great case, even if there are individuals who now may be in a position to cooperate that weren't originally willing to cooperate. I definitely think we've got missing videos from 3 separate systems: the library, the Ring camera, and the Sally Port. At crucial times, that would have shown the taillight. That is problematic. What happened to those videos? Was there any tampering? Where is the metadata? Why wasn't the metadata produced by Canton PD? Why did Michael Proctor make sure he went and got all the videos, but yet didn't do contemporaneous reports and interviews in a timely fashion? And why weren't there chains of custody for all the evidence that was collected, and just all the problems evidence-wise in this case, with things on the bumper, the glass that didn't match except for other glass on the yard collected by Proctor. So many things just don't add up. I do think it really comes down to, what is the United States Attorney's Office willing to prosecute? It doesn't mean a case isn't there. It's just a willingness to prosecute it.
Hopefully they will. I want to thank you so much. It was great. I love that. Jodine Weber told the truth about the feds. Not not that there's not a case there, that it's about the will to prosecute. I don't know why this federal office doesn't want to prosecute. I don't know. But great points about the Karen Reed case, but even more importantly, her points that she made about having no plan. You go into Kelsey Fitzsimmons' home, you know she has guns, several guns, more than one gun. You know there's a baby in the house, and you have no plan. You have three police officers. None of them are together when the incident happens. All of them have different statements about what they heard. I want to thank Jodine Weber for coming on the show, and I want to thank everyone for sticking around watching me eat my drumstick. That was so good. I had my wings. I had some actually real drumsticks, actually more than wings. I had the big chicken drumsticks for dinner tonight, and then I had an ice cream drumstick for dessert. Mazza Media coming up. We're going to be watching Mazza Media. I think it's at 5 or 6. I'm going to check that out. But we'll be watching Mazza tonight. He's doing a fundraiser, not for Karen Reed this time. He's doing a fundraiser for Turtle Boy, for Kelsey on her Give, Send, Go. It's Kelsey Heals. Help Kelsey Heals. Help Kelsey Heal. GiveSendGo.com/helps Kelsey Heal if you want to donate to her tonight. You can also donate to the Young Jerks, My Defense Fund. I'm being sued for defamation. It's ridiculous. GiveSendGo/The Young Jerks. Or you can also give to Turtle Boy. He's got a defense fund too. Tonight, Mazza is doing a fundraiser for all three of the defense funds. Yeah, this is a good point. It's starting to feel like that, Helena. Huh? Helena says, I think Justin is as scared of Kelsey as the McAlberts are of Aiden, which means not really scared, just pretending to be scared. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It's starting to feel like that. Or like Chris Albert on those protesters, where he was literally, on that last phone call that John Como put out, where he was crying about the protesters, there's two guys. One of them has a sign, Eric has a sign that says, like, I love Canton, standing in front of D&E Pizza, and Chris Albert is literally crying. Like, it was like he's all tough. He acts all tough at the select board meetings and in person. He threatens Richie Microdots. He's all threatening to beat up Turtle Boy when he's on the, you know what I mean? Chris Albert, tough guy. Then he's on the phone. He's fucking crying. Oh my God, they have signs. Oh. It's like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this dude could be an actor. He could be in Hollywood. Like, I don't know which is Chris. Is Chris the tough guy that, like, threatens Richie, like, about his record, threatens Microdots? Remember that one? Or is he, like, the crybaby, the little whiny boy? Which is the real Chris Albert? That's what, I agree. Helena, that's what, I'm getting the Justin vibes. That's what, those are the vibes I'm getting from Justin. I don't know if he's a scumbag, but it sure feels like it. It sure feels like he's got some Chris Albert in him. We'll find out. We're going to read the rest of what Helena said. Helena says, if he loved her, wouldn't he have sought help for her postpartum depression? I get a bad feeling about this guy. I know, right? You would think. I mean, look at Clancy's wife, Clancy's husband. What a difference. Clancy's husband, you could tell he really cares about his wife after what she did to her children. Kelsey didn't do anything to her children. Allegedly, all that's been done is threats have been made. She didn't actually do any damage to the children. The Clancy husband basically forgave his wife after she did the worst thing you can imagine, right? This guy is at war with Kelsey and nothing happened to the kid. I mean, that says a lot to me. That says a lot to me. And yeah, exactly. Now he wants her how he wants the little bit of money she has. He wants the little bit of money she has. I don't think so. There was supposed to be a family court hearing on Tuesday for Kelsey's baby. I think that's getting rescheduled because Kelsey hasn't had enough time to prepare, is my understanding. Is that putting her in jail and having all these medical issues, it's not helping her defense. It's not. So I think that may be delayed. That's my understanding. I don't think it's going to happen on Tuesday. All right. What I want to do now is I want to go to Brother Counsel and hear what he had to say on the Grace Curley show on Friday. He was phenomenal too. It was great having all those guests, but almost on every single one of them, I was like, I wish I had more time. This was one of them. Corey Hopkins was phenomenal. Attorney Corey Hopkins. If you're not following her, make sure you do. Marbury versus Mad, or Marbury v Mad is her Twitter account. Make sure you're following her. This is Brother Counsel.
This is the Grace Curley Show.
I'll be right back.
Welcome back, folks. It's the Grace Curley Show. My name is Mike Crawford. We are having a blast. It's Friday. I love Fridays. Don't you? And we're almost, we're at the second half of the show. I got another great guest for you. He's got a huge YouTube channel that a lot of us follow for his legal takes. He is a trial attorney. There are attorneys, and then there are trial attorneys. This gentleman is a trial attorney. He does civil and criminal defense. His name is Attorney Martin Radner. Check out his YouTube channel. Very well known there. Brother Counsel. It's Counsel. Brother Counsel, how you doing today?
Mike, I can't believe that after so many months of covering the same trials, this is the first time that we're actually speaking.
I know, it's amazing because I've been watching you for quite a bit, and I really enjoy your takes. At times, I was a little critical. I don't know if you noticed that, but you really won me over, man. You are a great attorney, a great advocate, a good man. I think you're a very good man, and I'm so glad that you agreed to come on today on the Grace Curley Show.
Well, good. You know, I think that if you stay long enough with me, I'll win you over one way or the other. So I'm glad you did. I'm glad that I won you over. I'm not sure what we disagreed about. I'd love to discuss it if we did, but I have no problem if anybody disagrees with something that I say. It's a free country. After all, the First Amendment does mean something to me, so I don't mind if people disagree and talk about it. But in Massachusetts, it seems like the First Amendment is on trial right now.
It absolutely is with Turtle Boy. I know you've been covering that. You've been watching that. You've also been getting into this Kelsey Fitzsimmons, which we've been covering heavily today. Where do you want to start? Would you rather talk about Turtle Boy? We only got a couple minutes, or Kelsey Fitzsimmons? What do you think is the most important one to cover right now?
Well, I think at this point we should cover Kelsey first, just because I think it's less known, and I think people need to hear about it. But Turtle Boy is obviously First Amendment, which is a very important amendment. After all, it's the first one.
Yeah, so tell us about Kelsey, and we'll go to Turtle Boy.
Okay, so just briefly, Kelsey. In case your listeners don't know yet what's going on with her, it's just the last order was just heart-wrenching. It was sickening. Kelsey Fitzsimmons, represented by Tim Bradle, same attorney who's representing Turtle Boy. Basically, she was shot in the chest, and exactly what the circumstances which led to that is a question, and which really is not so relevant for this type of hearing. So the merits of the case really don't bother me at this point. The question is if there's this due process. Are we protecting people's constitutional rights with these court hearings and with these orders? And what happened was that Kelsey Fitzsimmons, she was shot in the chest. She was in the hospital for 53 days, something like that. Obviously, very serious injuries when you're shot in the chest, including broken ribs. And the judge, and I'm going to leave her name out of it for now, unless you wanted to say her name, but the judge ordered that she has to do alcohol testing, which is reasonable. You know, if you're going to let somebody out on bond, you know, to require alcohol testing is pretty reasonable. But she also wanted her on house arrest. So how are you going to accomplish both? Well, she decided to require her to blow into the Scram device. Now, blowing into the Scram device is not just like a quick little short breath. It's a deep, long breath, which somebody with a broken ribs and who knows what else type of injury that she had because of the bullet that was lodged in her chest, she was having trouble. It would put her in tremendous amount of pain in order to blow into the Scram device. So her attorney, like all good attorneys would do immediately, as soon as possible, like within 3 days, filed a motion to modify the restrictions, her release restrictions, and asked to change it to some other alternative way of testing. You know, Scram's not the only way. I think people are listening to this maybe wondering, hey, what is Scram in the first place? They've heard of urine testing and blood testing, but no, Scram not. So there's plenty of alternatives out there. And Tim Bradel just said, hey, Judge, can we have some sort of alternative here? It's really killing her. It's really putting her through this torturous experience to blow into the Scram device. And the judge, right then on the spot, without a request by the probation officer, in fact, the probation officer was very supportive of Kelsey, the judge said, you know what, we're just going to revoke her bond and throw her back into jail. And, I mean, just listening to this, and if you listen to the actual hearing, it's even more concerning than me just telling you about it, because it sounds like the judge was taking certain things personally. And that's like rule number one as a judge, is that, you know, this is not personal. Lawyers have a job to do. We have our clients to represent. We want the best outcome for our clients. And, of course, we have to keep everybody safe at the same time. But the judge just locked her up. Tim Bradel filed a motion for reconsideration. That was denied, even though one of the complaints that the judge said in the initial hearing was that he didn't attach medical evidence. And then he goes and attaches medical evidence with a letter from her surgeon, the surgeon who treated her, explaining why this could be a problem for her to breathe into the Scram machine. And the judge said, too bad. We're just going to lock her up anyway. So it's a very bothersome order. To me, it's sickening, and it's not right. It's a travesty, and she should be out.
Well, hopefully the judge will get over her emotions and reconsider, because you're absolutely right. She got very upset, and I couldn't figure out why. None of us could. People are starting to wonder if the fix is in. Is this another Karen Reed case? It's certainly suspicious. Turtle Boy, we mentioned him. We've got a few more minutes here. What do you think? Because he just filed this huge motion to dismiss. Mark Betterow wrote the long motion to dismiss. A lot of it's redacted. I'm sure you've looked it over. What do you what's your latest on Turtle Boy? What do you want to tell the audience today about Turtle Boy?
Okay, so first of all, we did like about an hour stream on this yesterday. I went through a good portion of it, but it's a very voluminous motion, a lot of points. I mean, there is so much to unpack. I'm actually doing another show today at 2:30, but nobody who's listening to you should stop your show to listen to my show. But after they're done with your show, they should listen to my show. But we're going to continue going through it at 2:30, but there is so much to unpack in that motion. Let's just talk grand jury for now. Okay, the grand jury proceedings, which is sacred. I mean, this is how they're going to bring an indictment, take someone's liberty away, right? Charge them with offenses and maybe have these charges stick to this person. The way that the grand jury proceedings were started off was talking about a full day of evidence about a charge that Mello decided, you know what, at the end of the grand jury, we're not even going to ask you to indict him on that. So what was the purpose of talking? And we're talking about the wiretapping or recording the conversation that he had with Scanlon. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the point is that if you're going to bring that charge, you should have your ducks in a row, which is we're seeing little problems that Mello doesn't have his ducks in a row. But you should know this going to the grand jury. What are we going to try to get to stick on this person? And if you're not, if you have second thoughts on it, well, then you have to tell the grand jury to disregard everything that we presented regarding that charge. And they didn't. So all the jury gets to hear the first day is how terrible Turtle Boy is. Also, something that he read to the grand jury, as the prosecutor Mello, is that he read about he asked Tully to read it, but he read about the punishment. That's a big no-no. That's straight out. You're not allowed to tell the grand jury what the sentence is, what the punishment is, what the penalty is. That should not be at all brought to the attention of the grand jury. And Tully read, and that, again, that's talking about the charge that was not the witness intimidation charges. Wow. So there's that. That's how they started. That's how they started off the grand jury proceedings. Then they renamed. I'm sure many people have heard about this. They renamed his YouTube shows. So instead of calling him what he called them, which is much more innocent, they renamed them. And according to this motion, Tully is taking responsibility, not Kate Peter. So Tully's claiming that, that he was the one that renamed them. But this wasn't just an innocent mistake. There's 29 of these clips that were presented to the grand jury, which he renamed, making it look a whole lot worse.
Thank you so much. That is brother counsel. Thank you so much for being here, attorney Martin Radner. Coming up, woke or joke.
With brother counsel on the Grace Curley show on Friday, talking about Kelsey Fitzsimmons and Turtle Boy. Like I said, we got a big week coming up. Tomorrow, Monday, 2 p.m., Karen Reed's civil trial will be broadcasting here on the Young Jerk, so make sure you check that out. On Wednesday, Turtle Boy is going to be in court as well. I'm pretty sure attorney Mark Betterow will be there. Bradel will be there. Looking forward to that on Wednesday as well. And tonight, Mazza Media at 6 p.m., he's going to be doing a fundraiser for Aiden Carney, for Kelsey Fitzsimmons, and for myself for my legal defense. So all three of us, all of our legal defense funds, he's doing a fundraiser tonight. I pinned it in the chat. I hope everyone goes over there at 6 p.m. Just click it now and set the reminder so you don't forget. Martin Radner, Esquire. Exactly. That is brother counsel. He is so good. I like him so much. I really do. He's really good. He's got a lot of followers too. He's yeah, I definitely want to have brother counsel on my show. That's going to happen if he wants to come on. And there was another suggestion tonight too. This was a good suggestion from one of my a regular, somebody who really supports us and is always commenting and viewing. She says, Mike, can you have Nan back on and ask her if this would violate the ADA laws? With her medical experience, she would know. This is making me crazy. It has to be inhumane what the judge did. That's a good idea. I definitely will reach out back to Nan. I think it's time to do another Nan show. It just she did so many of the fundraiser shows with Zelda and Calling All Beings. I feel like sometimes I don't want to ask too much to some of the guests, but it's definitely time to have Nan back on the show. She's great. Or maybe the Grace Curley show. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the Grace Curley. I'm not sure what I'm doing my next. They said I was coming back, but I don't have a date yet, so we'll figure that out. I like to take it slow. I feel a lot of pressure when I go in there because it's not just me. I'm working for somebody else, a different crew. So for me, I shouldn't get so stressed, but I do. So for me, I'm glad I only do them once in a while. I try to make them as good as they can be with the best guests. So I think that's what carried the last episode, even though I had some issues personally. I was better with the breaks. I broke right on time, so I did do better there. So that was an improvement, and my questions were pretty good. I think I kept a pretty good flow, but the guests were, you could see Brother Counsel and Jodine. Nanya, she's phenomenal. She's probably in the chat tonight too. Corey, we have some great guests. Oh, I'd love to get Brother Solomon. Oh my God, that would be amazing, right? Ask them. You have to hit them up. Sometimes you have to just tell them. Some of these guests, you have to say, hey, make time for the Young Jerks. I want to see it. If you tell them, they'll more likely say yes to it. So help me out. In their chat, let them know. Let them know you want to see it. And like I said, I posted something today like that Gloria Gaynor song. I think it is. I'm not even sure who it is. Who sings the Flashdance song? I heard this Flashdance song on the radio today, and I was so into it. I was just like, I've never felt the words of this song like I do today, because it feels like that's what I feel like in life. Like we just make it happen. Like anything We can make this shit happen. And with purpose, it's just I'm feeling good. I really am. So I'm liking the jerks. I'm liking what we're all a part of. And tonight I want to go back. I'm just gonna play it again because I want to just put the focus on Kelsey tonight as much as possible. So I'm gonna play the court hearing again. We're gonna play it once again. I hope people don't get sick of this, but she's in jail. And as long as she's in jail for this BS and they won't let her out, we're going to keep playing this because I want people to be there. October 7th. This next hearing. We got to get everyone out in purple. We're all going to be wearing the color purple. Yeah, what a feeling. That's the way I feel. Even though we deal with difficult subjects and it is hard to listen to, I feel like I have my purpose. I do. And you all watch it, and that's what makes it happen. And it's who's watching. So we're going to play this again. There was something else. Oh, I know. Hold on one second. We're throwing all the links. We also put out Kelsey's fundraiser tonight was in the chat. We might post that again. But right now, the pinned link of the chat is to Baza Media tonight. He's doing a fundraiser for Kelsey Fitzsimmons, for the Young Jerks, and for Aiden Carney, all three of our defense funds. I hope people check that out. But there's also a Give, Send, Go for Kelsey you can give to. There's one a Give, Send, Go for the Young Jerks you can give to. Very much appreciate it. And obviously, Aiden Carney has his defense fund. There's also a new Justice for Kelsey Fitzsimmons Facebook group that I'm a member of. And I would love for people to join it if you haven't. I'm going to post that in the chat right now. So there's a lot of links to follow. And again, we'll be live tomorrow at 2 p.m., if not earlier, covering the Karen Reed civil trial. Yeah, I think Chief Gray deserves a lot of criticism and a lot of oversight and, for the body cameras, for the fact that you had a person that had several guns and a baby in the house, and you guys didn't separate her and the guns before letting her roam through the house. And the fact that you don't have body cameras and you don't want to talk about it when the press asks about the body cameras. And you have all of these lawsuits in the past where you were such a jokester. You're not playing jokes on the DA though, right? You just play jokes on your female officers and low-level people who have to take your shit, Chief Gray. We just have to take it, he says. We just have to take it. Are you going to take it from us, Chief Gray? Because now you're going to be taking it from the public, Chief Gray. I wonder if you can just take it. I wonder if you're actually that much of a tough guy that you can take the public scrutiny that you're going to get now. All right, I'm going to post that Kelsey Fitzsimmons, Justice for Kelsey Fitzsimmons Facebook group. I hope a lot of you joined today, if you haven't already. I'm posting that in the YouTube chat and all the chats. If you're watching on Twitch, we actually are on Twitch, and some people are watching, which is funny because almost nobody ever watches on Twitch, but sometimes we get a few. We do have a Twitch. We're also on Facebook. Quite a few people do watch us on Facebook as well. And YouTube, obviously, is our stronghold. X, for whatever reason, we're not able to stream on X right now. And I'm so frustrated with X. If you update your profile at all, they take away your streaming until they approve your update, which is, it's like, give me a break. And it's been months now. Like, and I want to even maybe update the profile again, but they take away your streaming rights. X is really, for all of what Elon Musk gets called a genius, I find X to have the most issues. And I love X. I spend a lot of time on it. It's like, Jesus Christ, we can't stream for months because we changed our profile picture? Give me a break. One person has reported that. Jessica Machado reported it, Sherry D. I could not confirm it. I couldn't have it confirmed or denied. The source that I speak to that's close would not confirm or deny that story. So I don't know if she was pregnant. Jessica reported it. Jessica Machado. And this is a good comment, Bite Bits. A documented culture of discriminatory, I hate that word. I hate saying that word. Let me say it again. A documented culture of discriminatory behavior. Look at me stumbling over that word. But that's exactly what it is. That's the North Andover Police Department. Right? That allegedly, if you believe the lawsuits that have been filed. All right, let's play this. So this is what we're gonna end with. The judge again. And I appreciate too people who've been writing Kelsey and sending letters. I know she's starting to receive those. I think it's very helpful for her to know while she's behind bars that people are paying attention to this and taking up her cause. So I thank anyone who has written her a letter and is stepping up. And I can't wait to see you all. I want to know how many people in the chat are planning on coming October 7th for Kelsey's next criminal hearing. Essex Superior Court in Salem, Massachusetts. How many of you coming October 7th? I'm going to be there, 9 a.m. Hopefully, if any of my dog customers hit me up, I'm going to be like, no, I'm tied up. I can't walk any dogs. Who's going? Who's showing up? I'll be there. Becky says she's going to try. Hopefully I see you there, Becky. I just don't have anything purple. I had like a purple t-shirt, but it's like ripped and it's like, I can't wear that to court. I need to get some type of purple shirt. You're from Kentucky and you want to come? Well, maybe you'll come for the trial. Maybe you'll schedule a vacation. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, Jen's coming. I'm looking forward to seeing you, Jen. Make sure you introduce yourself. Kim, let's hope your son's not working. I hope to see you there. Make some merch in my shop. The only merch I have is like the Young Jerks or the Young Jelly stuff. I know, I'm pretty sure that they have some merch that the family's now selling. I think you can get it through the Facebook group. Check the Facebook group. That's what I probably do. I'll probably buy one of their merch. I don't really want to wear a t-shirt to court though. I'll probably get something purple, like a button up or something. I don't know. We'll see. If I don't have purple, I'm not going to kill myself. It's not going to be the end of the world if I don't have purple on, but I'll try. Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot, Leah, to support financially. People can give to Kelsey. Help Kelsey heal. GiveSendGo.com. Help Kelsey heal / help Kelsey heal. If you want to give financially. I'm just looking to see how many of you going. Oh, Jen. Oh, it's gonna be there. Holy shit. Holy shit. Am I gonna finally get to meet Jen? Oh my god. Oh my god. That's gonna be awesome. I hope so. Oh my god. That's gonna be amazing. Diane's going. Thank you, Diane. I can't wait to see everybody. Wear a purple polo. Yeah, that's probably what I'll be getting. That's a good idea. I'll go. You know what I like about polos too is like I don't even have to put them on. It's like just get a large polo. It will fit me. So I might just order one off Amazon. That's a good idea. I'm sure I can find a purple polo on Amazon. Yes, October is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and you know it's also the birthstone of Kelsey's baby. So yes, Kelsey's favorite color is red. It was considered actually to suggest people wear red, but Kelsey and the family and the defense, I think, decided not to do that because there's some political and gang affiliation with the color red, and so I think they chose purple. And the reason purple is it's the baby's gemstone color, so it makes sense to do purple. And somebody also noticed purple. If you add red and blue together, which are the two political sides, right? The colors of the two parties, you get purple, which I think is a good statement too, because that's what this is. This is not about one party or the other. This is everybody, everybody. So purple's like a universal color for everybody. I think it's a great color, especially in this situation. So purple it is. Let's do the purple. I like Purple Rain too. I like Prince. Yeah, I know, right? I know. It's sad that we have to think like that in this world, right? That you have to think of politics or gangs, and because that's what some people think. Like you're with a side, and it's supposed to be everybody together, right? So purple's a good, safe color. I wonder if there are any gangs that use the color purple. I bet. I mean, there are so many gangs out there. I'm sure there are some, but it's just not notoriously known. Yes, Prince. I love Prince. All right, let's play this video. And then we're going to go hang at 6 p.m. with Mazza Media. I'm going to jump on with him. I know the Glare, I believe, is going to be on there. He's going to have some special guests. He always pulls off some great shows. You never know who could show up tonight on Mazza Media. Like I said, he's doing a fundraiser for Kelsey Fitzsimmons Defense Fund, for the Turtle Boy Defense Fund, and for the Young Jerks Defense Fund. We all have defense funds, unfortunately. I love the band Deep Purple. That's another one. Yeah, I do too. I like a Highway Star. I'm a highway star. Smoke on the Water. Perfect. There's a lot. Deep Purple was good. All right, let's play this video. No more Deep Purple. I tried to sing the Highway Star. That was bad. You don't want me doing that again. I'm better. I can dance. I'm a better dancer than I am a singer. That's for sure. It's funny because music influenced me so much. It's one of the reasons I'm even doing the show. Like if it wasn't for music and booking bands, and I always wanted to be around it. I always want to be creative. I'm not like an artist. I'm not really that creative, but I always wanted to be around it. I'm not a musician. I can't sing, but I ended up like, I'm the type of guy that could talk to people. People like me. I'm business oriented. I get things done. And so like really what I did was book a band. I was a manager of a band, and then I booked a bunch of festivals and, got a lot of sponsorships and grew, and I did a lot of activism, but it was always music based in the very beginning, working with musicians specifically. And that was as close to music as I could get, and to help them. They always need help with, the things that I could help them with, like booking shows and promoting them, getting sponsorships, all that stuff. And I just love music, but I can't sing. But I can dance. I can dance. And I can host. The other thing I used to do too is at the festivals I would run, you'd always need an MC or host, and I would do that a lot as well. That's where I started at the very beginning. But don't ask me to sing. I don't have the address in front of me. I know Jessica Machado posted it on Twitter, so you could find it there. All right, let's watch the video, and then we'll all see each other over later on tonight at 6 p.m. Mazza Media, big fundraiser show. I hope to see everyone over there.
Docket number 2025-311 before the court in the defendant's motion. If the parties would please
I'll be right
identify
back.
themselves for the record.
Good afternoon, James Gubachowski on behalf of the Commonwealth.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Attorney Moriarty for the Commonwealth. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Martha Copley for the defendant, Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Good afternoon.
Hello, Your Honor. Timothy Brado for Kelsey Fitzsimmons. She's present in the courtroom today for the record to my left.
Good afternoon, Mr. Good afternoon, everybody in the courtroom.
Thank you.
So I received the defendant's emergency motion for immediate release from the Scram order. So I'll hear from the moving party.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Judge, this is an issue that causes Ms. Fitzsimmons a lot of pain. And I don't want to conflate her being able to pass the test because she's been passing them, but she has about 4 hours of pain and dizziness afterwards. And you know, I don't think anyone, and I know the court would share my thought that this shouldn't be a torture device for her. This shouldn't be something that causes her pain, impairs her rib healing, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, we're not trying to get any sort of advantage over anything. We just want her to not, A, to not be in pain for hours after these tests, and B, you know, we just want her to not have the anxiety that if she has a difficulty doing it, that she's going to get a knock on the door and get locked up. We were told by the Elmo people that, you know, they may have to issue a warrant, and thankfully they didn't. And we appreciate, you have Mr. January's email regarding his own observations about what happened. And, you know, I think that says it all. That's someone that has no bias or interest, and, you know, probation enforces court orders, and that's that. And he is telling the court this is a problem. And, you know, this is something that should be addressed. And
Okay.
so I see this as a simple adjustment of terms.
I don't see it that way, just so you understand where I'm coming from. I don't see it that way.
Okay, can I?
Okay.
I don't understand what you're saying, Judge.
Okay, what I'm telling you, it's not a simple adjustment. One of the reasons she was released, and one of the reasons to ensure the safety of the community was for her to be alcohol-free. If she cannot do that or will not do that, that changes everything.
She's happy to be alcohol-free. She doesn't wish to be alcohol-free. It's just the means of determining that's the adjustment. That's what I mean when I say this is an adjustment that.
Well, a scram is what was ordered. Now, was she unable, when you said that there was a knock on the door, explain that to me. What
No,
happened?
Judge, that we don't want to have a knock on the door. She's living in fear of there being a knock on the door.
Okay.
Because of these tests. It's just not between the physical and then the mental anxiety. This is a very significant issue for her.
Okay.
And that, you know, we just want to adjust whatever means the court wishes to test her or figure this out is fine with us. But this is just a very difficult environment. And just, that's something that I just want to ask the court to adjust somehow.
Okay, so you're asking the court to adjust the court's order that's been in effect for 3 days with no medical evidence to support your claim that she cannot do it.
Well, I think you have 2 affidavits and the email from probation. I think that's pretty persuasive evidence that this is extremely difficult.
The email from probation is not evidence. If you have any evidence, now is your opportunity to submit it.
I don't understand the court's position. That's not evidence.
Okay, it's an email. It's hearsay. Commonwealth, do you have a position as to the submissions of an email as evidence in this hearing to relieve the defendant, Ms. Fitzsimmons, of a condition that's been in effect for 3 days?
I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but we have the person who sent that email here.
Okay. So you have a burden, it's your motion. What do you want to do?
Well, Judge, I don't think that is the court saying that papers and emails and affidavits are not sufficient?
This is an email from a probation officer. The court gives that 0 weight.
Well, then you have an affidavit from Ms. Fitzsimmons and you have an affidavit from her mother of the physical observations of what happens. I think that's, the more persuasive evidence than a doctor saying something to the effect of, I think it's self-evident and it's common knowledge that if you have broken ribs, that it's hard to breathe.
What evidence do I have that she has current broken ribs and that she's suffering from broken ribs at this time?
Well, you have an affidavit from her mother, you have an affidavit from Ms. Fitzsimmons, and the other day we were here, I submitted the instructions from Mass General about broken ribs.
Okay.
I mean, I would just argue that it's somewhat self-evident as well. Thank you. That it's somewhat self-evident as well, and that, she's having great difficulty here. It's been observed by probation, it's been attested to by her mother, and it's been attested to by Ms. Fitzsimmons. So it's just a very difficult scenario for her that luckily she has passed the test, but then she's got hours of pain afterwards. And the one that she had difficulty with, out of an abundance of caution, we were dealing with Elmo, and we were informed that they may issue a warrant. And
So I want to hear about the one she had difficulty with. When was that?
Take a second, 1 moment. Well, so that's what I was saying, Judge. I don't want to conflate passing with not having difficulty. She has difficulty with every single test. And so she passes them in great pain. So she's had difficulty in every single one, equated, it's in the affidavit. So she has difficulty on every single one. So that's a different issue than passing the test. So she's experiencing difficulty all the way through. But the one that she was unable to was 9/9/25 at 3:09 p.m., I guess.
And was that a required test that she was to do?
Yes,
And she was unable to perform it?
correct.
Okay, was she unable to perform it?
No.
What happened?
No. So since she's been released,
Yes, where in office?
Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear you will make true answers to such questions that may be put to you by the court or upon its direction, so help you
I
God?
do. Lauren, if I could just pass this up, this is
Sure.
information pertaining to all of our experiences.
And is that being submitted, Attorney Bradel, as an exhibit for the purposes of this hearing?
Judge, I'd be more than happy to do that.
It's not more than happy to. You're either doing it or not.
Yeah, sure. Go right ahead, Your Honor.
Okay,
It
so
just says that she passed the test, so which is not an issue. The issue is that she's in extreme pain while doing it. Whether she passes. or not.
Okay, so there's one, Officer January that says incomplete at 9/10/25 at 3:09 PM. Is that right?
That's correct.
So what does that mean?
Yeah, so what it means is there's a scheduled test that's programmed daily for her to be alerted and to initiate a test. And that happens. And so initially she answers the alert and attempts to take the test but is unable to complete the test. And based on my information, my conversations with Elmo is that is when she has difficulty either blowing as hard or as long, or a combination of both, into the machine to complete the test. So what happens after that is there are additional attempts to complete the test, which she tries, and then ultimately on that particular date, she successfully completes and passes the test on September 10th at 3:50 p.m.
Okay, what I have in front of me is an incomplete test at 9/10/25 at 3:09 PM.
That's correct. And then if you just look
And then
right
it
above
says
that,
passed at 9/10/25 at 9:30 AM.
okay, so you're looking, I'm referring to this the second document, it's multiple pages.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you just go up instead of the one above it,
Okay.
Incomplete is the. not
So it's
350.
3:09, it's incomplete, and then at 3:50 she passed.
That's correct.
So that's a period of 40 minutes?
That's correct. And you'll see the same thing.
So the other one, which is
September 9th, yes.
September 9th,
Again, at 3 o'clock.
but she
The test is initially incomplete.
at 3:09 and then it's complete at 4:21.
Yeah, 4:20, 4:21.
So there were 2 times that she had an incomplete test. Is that
Yes,
correct?
Incomplete, and
And what's the procedure of the probation department when somebody who has a condition of release to have Scram and to pass the Scram test in a very serious case if they're incomplete? And I have 2 incomplete tests and I was not made aware of either one of them.
so my first job when we get an incomplete test is to gather more information. And so, which is what we do. And so in response to the incomplete test, we call Elmo, we gather the information, which is she answered the alert to take the test as scheduled. Unfortunately, she was unable to complete the test because she was unable to blow as long or as hard as needed to complete the test. So ultimately, at 4:20, she completes the scheduled test. There may be additional attempts in between, but ultimately she completes the test.
So that's for a period of
And so
an hour and 20 minutes.
that's correct. Now, in conjunction to the hour and 20 minutes, we also know that, and I observed it firsthand, that whatever the injuries are, which I don't know, actually doesn't really matter to me. But when I was doing the installation process and observed what was genuine pain, like genuine pain. So I know.
Any objection to any of the terms used by probation officer? Okay.
So we have all that information. We don't deem that non-compliant. She's attempting to take the test and she ultimately passes the test at 4:20. So with all of the information, that's not non-compliant. That's compliance, and with her obstacles.
What do you, I'm getting confused. What do you mean compliant? As far as when she was initially,
That's compliant with Scram testing. She was ordered.
when she initially was, started to be monitored by Scram and you went through the preparations, is that
Yeah,
right?
that's correct.
Okay. So when something is incomplete, do you typically bring it to the attention of the court?
No, that's not what we do. So if something is incomplete, as in this case, at 3, on September 9th, at 3:09, we have an incomplete test, which is a scheduled test.
Mhm.
And then we have, that's simply not the non-compliance. If she had missed the test, that would generate additional responses from Elmo, and then that would determine whether or not there's actual non-compliance. If someone missed a test because they were down in the basement doing laundry and then came up and realized that they had a test, took an on-demand test 20 minutes later and passed the test, which means there's no alcohol in the system, we don't deem that as non-compliant. That's compliance. If they missed the test and additional notifications were made by the electronic monitoring office regarding the missed test, if she failed to respond or she failed to take an alert for another on-demand test, now that's non-compliance, and we would initiate a pretrial violation notice and notify the district attorney's office. This particular case, I don't deem non-compliance because she's complying with the scheduled program. I'm aware of pain based on my observations from the installation process. So as long as she's attempting to take the test, continues to attempt to take the test, and then ultimately takes the test, that's not non-compliance. That's someone that's,
Well, that's
to
your,
me,
that's your position, that's non-compliant.
Well-
It's really up to the court to decide whether somebody's compliant or not with conditions of release. What you're saying is those situations you described is what you deem as appropriate to bring before the court.
it would, so I guess it would never be brought to court by way of a pretrial violation for an incomplete test with the information that I've talked about. So no, an incomplete test does not initiate a pretrial violation or from our end.
Right.
Because there are many reasons for a test to be incomplete. And there are circumstances where someone misses a test and then takes an on-demand test. That's not intentional non-compliance. And the goal is to test to ensure that the person's sober, and that's not, we don't deem that non-compliance. We would never, we never have, and we never would, in this case, initiate a pretrial violation proceeding based on an incomplete test that was subsequently passed. And so, the schedule for her to be tested is something that we discussed. Wasn't ordered by the court. The court ordered someone to be alcohol free.
What do you mean we discussed? So she knows when she's going to be tested?
With Ms. Fitzsimmons. I discussed with the defense counsel about creating a testing schedule because it's more practical to have a schedule in place. There was no schedule that was ordered by the court. There's no frequency of testing that was ordered by the court.
It was
4 times a day, 3 times a day. None of that was ordered. She was ordered.
It was random screens, excuse me, Ms. Officer January. It was random screens. Now you're telling me she's on a schedule to get tested? Is that what you're telling me?
We created a schedule, as
With
we always do.
Okay.
As we always do. Not in this particular case. We always do.
It was random screens that were ordered.
Judge, I don't have that. I don't have random screens anywhere in my materials, for the record.
Okay.
I don't know nothing about random screens.
Okay.
Judge, just so I could clarify that. When we get an order, someone's placed on pretrial conditions that include remain alcohol-free with Scram testing, we always default to creating this testing schedule.
Okay.
And up to 4 times a day. So we'll schedule one for the morning, we'll schedule one for the mid-afternoon, we'll schedule one for the evening, and if we have to, we'll schedule one for later at night. And that's to ensure that sobriety throughout the day. In this particular case, we created a schedule for her to be tested at 9:30, 3 o'clock, and then at 8 o'clock. The only way we would not enter a schedule is if the court specifically said, I want the test to be done randomly. I don't want her to know when the test is coming. And the test to be done randomly. And at that point in time, we would take her off a schedule, and then we would notify Elmo to be tested 4 times a day at random.
Okay.
So that's done on this case, and it's done on every case.
Okay. Attorney Boyle, do you have anything else to submit?
Judge, I would just offer, I respect and I heard your Honor's take on the probation email, but for the record, I would move that into evidence as well. And I just want to also.
Commonwealth, do you have a position as to the admission of the email?
I think we just heard what the email
All right, so the email is excluded. Anything else, Attorney
No,
Brown?
my objection, Your Honor.
Sure.
And Judge, I just want to state that on the pretrial conditions of release, it says comply with remote alcohol breath testing.
Okay. I don't know if that's what was ordered. I'm going to go back and listen to FTR.
I can tell the court from where I sit, I didn't remember any use.
I mean, you may very well be right, but I'm going to go listen.
Judge, I just want to clarify something. My email, and I know but it's important that the court knows, I didn't make a recommendation that Scram condition be vacated. I never did that. I never suggested, it's all that email was.
Attorney, Officer January, nobody's asking you questions. Your testimony is complete. Are you asking to make a statement to the court?
If the court's under the belief that I recommended that condition be vacated or removed, then yeah.
I haven't said anything one way or the other, sir. We're here for one purpose and one purpose
Okay.
only, and that's for the motion to vacate the Scram device. So do you have anything else to submit, Attorney Brado?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Comwell, do you have anything?
No, I have no evidence to submit other than the arguments that I talked about, how important that the Commonwealth's belief is in light of the court releasing the defendant, that testing be done.
Okay. Attorney Brado, here, first of all, I do have a question. So Ms. Fitzsimmons is able to do the Scram, is that correct? Or is she not able to do it? I don't know. Is she not able to do it?
I think, that depends on whether the court is willing to tolerate that the material represented in the
The court
affidavit.
is not tolerating anything. Okay, let's be clear. I'm not tolerating anything. The court is not tolerating anything. Ms. Fitzsimmons is a defendant. In lieu of incarceration, my order was that she submit to Scram. If she cannot do that, I need to know that. Can she do that or not?
She can do it.
Okay.
Under the terms that are laid out in the affidavit.
So you're saying she can do it on her own terms?
With significant pain and dizziness and having to recover for several hours.
I understand what you're saying. It is certainly not the court's intention. It's not the court's position to have Ms. Fitzsimmons in any pain at all. So I appreciate your argument. Do you have anything else to add?
I would suggest, Judge, that I think there's other ways to do this. If the court wishes to have her tested for lack of alcohol, that's completely fine with the defense. But just the means that's being employed is kind of a torture device for her.
Okay.
And so we object on due process grounds to that.
Oh, okay.
But
it is not this court's intention
I understand
to torture Ms. Fitzsimmons at all. The court's goal is to make sure the community is safe and Officer Noonan is safe. So I hear you loud and clear that the defense views Ms. Fitzsimmons having to do the Scram as cruel and unusual and torture. Is that your position?
Well, that's an Eighth Amendment position. I suppose that can be put in there as well. But Judge, I think that, there's probably other alternatives that she could do that I believe are out there but I know that might step on the court's other order for house arrest, that you would have to go to a facility. I know there's like urine tests and other things like that. So I know there's other possibilities out there that, again, she's not trying to use this to create a situation where she can go drink alcohol.
Okay.
That's not at all what this is about. So I just want to ask the court to consider any other alternatives.
You would think that she had failed an alcohol test or had not complied. None of that happened. They weren't there because she screwed up. This judge is holding it against her, and she did nothing wrong.
That might not pose this type of an issue.
Okay.
Thank you.
Attorney Gubitosi or Attorney Moriarty, do you have anything to add?
No.
Okay, I'm going to leave the bench for a few minutes. I'll break.
Court, all rise.
don't think she reviewed the paperwork.
Your Honor, we're back on the record with the Fitzsimmons matter.
It's funny how
Okay,
she
good
leaves
afternoon,
the
everybody.
bench.
So I have reviewed everything again that's been submitted to me.
She reviewed everything, but did she review the paperwork from when Bradel submitted about what happened to Kelsey? I mean, it's obvious why this woman would have breathing issues with 2 broken ribs, severe lung damage, liver damage.
And I will state for the record that Fitzsimmons has moved twice in a 3-day period to amend her conditions of release. On neither occasion has she submitted any medical evidence to support her claims. The imposition of conditions is the court's order after careful consideration of the evidence to fashion the least restrictive conditions that will reasonably assure the appearance of the defendant and the safety of all other persons in the community pursuant to General Laws, Chapter.
This is not the least restrictive. Bold-faced lie right there. The judge is lying. It's not the least restrictive. Putting her in jail is not the least restrictive. The least restrictive would have been finding another way to test her for alcohol. She was in full compliance. She's willing to cooperate. She's passed every test. She hasn't drank. Her parents moved all the alcohol out of the house. Least restrictive would have been find another way to test her for alcohol that doesn't include breathing into a tube. Not put her in jail. The judge is a liar. How can she sit on this court and just lie to us?
276, Section 58A2B. Just days ago, the court concluded that the condition of remaining alcohol-free and submitting to Scram monitoring was necessary to ensure the safety of the community. After a thorough review of all of the arguments and submissions by the Commonwealth and Fitzsimmons, that conclusion remains unchanged, regardless of Fitzsimmons' claimed physical limitations. Based on an affidavit submitted by Fitzsimmons' mother, the testimony of Assistant Chief Probation Officer Jeff January about his observations of Fitzsimmons' apparent pain during the Scram installation, and the representations of Fitzsimmons' counsel that it would be cruel and unusual punishment and torture to continue to require Fitzsimmons
See the way
to
she said
comply
that?
with the condition of being monitored by
Torture?
Scram.
Well, is she a friggin' child? Do we have a child? Another child? Torture? Really, lady? How old are you? Honorable? We're supposed to call you honorable? You aren't very honorable. Honorable? The honorable hyphenated. The honorable hyphenated you know what?
The court concludes that Fitzsimmons cannot abide by the condition of being monitored by Scram. Without this condition, which ensures that she does not consume any alcohol, the court cannot assure the safety of Officer Noonan and all other persons in the community. Accordingly, the court's prior order of release is vacated, and Fitzsimmons is ordered to be held without bail pursuant to Mass
what a
General Laws,
state.
Chapter 276, Section 58A. And a
What a
written
state. They got Miles is free. He allegedly shot somebody, killed them right in front of the dude's mother's house. He's out free. He's not a danger to the community on an ankle bracelet. But this cop, who the only trouble she's ever gotten is she got shot. She's a danger to the community. Give me a break. A woman who was a correction officer, North Andover Police Officer. She's in law school. She worked. She did everything right. She's never gotten in trouble before. She's a danger to the community. She's passed every alcohol test. She's done everything she's supposed to. Her family moved her brother out of the house. The family moved every piece of alcohol out of the house. She's got mother, father, stepfather, a bunch of other relatives there. She's got great community, family support. This is the woman that's a danger to the community. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, Judge. Judge McCarthy, Naaman, the Honorable Judge McCarthy, Naaman. Since we're going to do the Honorable. And you realize they couldn't indict her for the attempted murder charge, the most serious. You know that, Your Honor. I want to go back to this video. We're gonna play it one more time tonight. This is the short video where we actually see Kelsey and her partner when they responded to a murder suicide of a young child, a baby, when Kelsey was 5 months pregnant, and they offered her a free pizza. And you're gonna see the reason I'm playing this again is because I have confirmed. Let me remove this video. I have confirmed who Noonan is in this video. It's who I thought it was, actually. So we're gonna point him out when he shows up on the screen here. So let's play this video. This is the last video we're gonna play, and then we're gonna go over to Mazda Media tonight.
Accused of killing her 9-month-old son before taking her own life, feared that she could be dangerous. Court documents show Jennifer Paez was scheduled for trial in October on charges including assault and disorder.
Right there. Okay. So there's Kelsey talking to some officers, right? She's telling them what she saw, it looks like, right? In the house. And the guy to the far left, the tallest guy, the kind of balding guy, with his arms crossed, you can see his gun right there. That is Patrick Noonan. That's Noonan. So the furthest left, the large man, the largest man you see, that is, imagine this judge kept saying Noonan's name. Can you imagine this little Kelsey, this little blonde Kelsey, and this big man, this big large man, Noonan, Officer Noonan, is afraid of Kelsey? Are you kidding me? Yeah, he does have a little hair. It looks like he's got like a little white hair on top. I wonder if we can increase the size of that.
North Andover and Lawrence.
But yeah, he's the solo guy right now. If you see him there, the other guy left. I'm going to rewind it a little bit too. But he
was charged with domestic assault.
Hold on.
Reports show that Paez was charged with.
Won't let me go back. Why does it do that?
Charges including assault and disorder.
Right there. So that's him. You see his gun. He's a tall guy. He's got a little blonde puff at the top. He almost looks bald, but it looks like there's a little blonde. Not blonde. It's almost like whitish, grayish hair at the very top of his head. He's the largest man. I mean, you look at all these guys here. Patrick Noonan is the largest man. He towers over the other guy standing right behind him.
The conduct in North Andover.
See, right there. That's him. He's see the other guy's leaving.
Over in Lawrence.
And now Patrick Noonan's the furthest left in the scene here. That's him.
Police reports show that Paez was charged with domestic assault and motor vehicle violations in connection with 2 incidents in late 2022. Her sister says that Paez was bipolar, but had stopped taking her medication and sometimes acted out of control. During a traffic stop in Lawrence, Paez allegedly threatened police and said she wanted to kill people. One officer said he even recognized her from a previous suicide attempt. Police and DCF tell us they are both investigating Monday's apparent murder-suicide.
So they come to a murder-suicide of a young baby. And then they're both involved in this incident later. Weird Debbie says, I wonder if the judge is connected to Officer Noonan. Well, Officer Noonan's middle name is McCarthy. And we know a part of her hyphenated name is McCarthy. So I don't know if they're related. And we also know that the retired fire chief for North Andover, the retired fire chief of North Andover, his last name is also McCarthy. A lot of McCarthys in North Andover, apparently. They're all a lot of McCarthys. It's interesting. I don't know if any of them are related, but it's very interesting. I'm sure the private investigators are looking into that. Are any of these McCarthys related? because that retired fire chief of North Andover with the last name McCarthy, he was also, like Noonan, like McCarthy Noonan, he was also an ex-Lawrence police officer. It's like they're all coming from the same places here. They're all, imagine they're both ex-Lawrence police officers. They both have McCarthy as the name somewhere, whether it's a middle name or last name. And they both end up at North Andover. One at the fire department, the other is the police department. Just, it's a small world. It's a small world. And I don't even know if any of these people are related. I'm just looking into things and seeing things and going, I don't know. That's kind of strange. That's kind of weird. I mean, what are the chances that his middle name is McCarthy? I couldn't believe that. Patrick McCarthy Noonan. It's weird, huh? I mean, there are a lot of McCarthys around here. I actually have some McCarthys in my family way back. I had a great grandma McCarthy. I don't know. No, I think there was also another McCarthy who married into my family too, which is strange. So, got a couple connections to the McCarthy name in my family too. So, it is a kind of a common name around here, but that's what makes it harder to actually look into it too, because the names are so common. It's hard. But geez, it's weird, isn't it? Things that make you go, Kat Randall, thank you so much for gifting a Young Jerks membership tonight. And I also want to thank Ms. Holmes. Thank you so much, Ms. Holmes and Kat Randall. Yeah, you have McCarthys in your family too. I knew some other McCarthys growing up too. But, a lot of times you don't even need to be related. You just have to know people, right? And I have a feeling that this judge knows a lot of these people, especially the way she kept on bringing up Patrick McCarthy Noonan's name, right? How she was worried about him. I thought it was strange. Like, think about this too. The judge kept talking about public safety, which is weird to me. It's like, this is an this is a police officer. Never gotten in any trouble until this incident. Okay, you're worried about public safety. Then she kept on bringing up the safety of Officer Noonan, a guy who has a gun. Officer Noonan has a gun, a legal gun. She has no gun. She can't drive. She can't leave her mother's house. She has an ankle bracelet. She can't drink alcohol. She's worried about him with the gun, the big guy. What she's not worried about, what she didn't mention, which for me, if I was a judge, if I was going to be worried about anything with a postpartum depressed mom, allegedly, who would I be most worried about? I'd be worried about the baby. Because we saw what happened with the Clancy woman, right? And that's what I would be worried about. If this woman truly does have mental health issues, postpartum depression, you most worry about the baby. That's what I would be if I was the judge. The judge didn't say she was worried about the safety of the baby. Secondary, if I actually believe Justin, which I really don't at this point. I mean, I could change my mind, but honestly, so far I don't really trust Justin. But if I was the judge and I was being fair and not, being prejudging it, I might worry about Justin too, right? I'd be most concerned probably about the baby and then Justin and then maybe the big guy who shot her. But she kept on bringing up Patrick McCarthy, the guy who shot Kelsey Fitzsimmons. It's very strange. And he has the middle name McCarthy. I thought that was strange. There's a lot off in this case. That's why we have to, if you can, October 7th, get there early. There's a nice parking garage, MBTA station, bus station, commuter rail station, Salem downtown. It's easy to get to. It's 1 block away from the train station. Very easy. It's downtown Salem. 9 a.m. October 7th. I'm going to be there, Essex Superior Court. And it's usually the top floor. You just go, you take the elevator up to the top floor and you're there. There is a little metal detector. You go through the security, whole 9 yards. It's easy to get in and out though. Wear purple, exactly. If you can, wear purple. I want to know how many people are planning to be there. Are you gonna? Do you have something purple picked out? Again, Mazza Media is starting at 6 p.m. We have it linked in the chat right now. I hope people do a little raid over there. Yeah, Patrick McCarthy Noonan. She kept saying Noonan. She was worried about Patrick Noonan, the big guy. I don't think Patrick Noonan is afraid. This is my final question for everyone. How many does anybody feel that Patrick Noonan, that big man that we looked at, let's bring it back. This guy, this large man who's got much more law enforcement experience than Kelsey. I'm not going to play it again. Hold on. Let's see if we can replay it.
Members of a North Andover mother accused of killing her 9-month-old son before taking her own life feared that she could be dangerous. Court documents show Jennifer Paez was scheduled for trial in October on charges including
This guy, this big, large guy. He's a big guy. I mean, you guys know me. I'm a wrestler. I'm not afraid. But he looks big enough that it would become a problem for me to even take down. Like there's a certain size of a guy that's like, especially if they have any training in how to wrestle or fight or MMA or any of that stuff, that it becomes a big problem. Like he looks that large. He's standing well over these other guys. These other guys that are on the same level. There's one guy that looks like he's on some steps on the far right. He looks like he's tall. He's much larger and taller than all the rest of these guys. Do you think Kelsey Fitzsimmons scares Mr. Noonan? You think Mr. Noonan is like sitting at home with his gun, like worried that Kelsey Fitzsimmons was going to come get him? I don't think he's afraid. I don't think he's afraid at all. Yeah, I don't think he's afraid. Yeah, he does kind of look like Matthew Farwell, doesn't he? He kind of does. I don't think so. You plan on going. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you, Nurse Deb. Yes. Suit's going to too, I think. I hope to see you there. Yeah, purple. Yeah, I don't think Noonan is actually afraid. I don't think he's afraid. But for some reason, this judge kept on bringing up Noonan. You know? Yeah, Noonan fired twice. Once he missed, once he hit her. Yeah, I don't think he's afraid. That is the partner that shot her. Noonan. He's on the far left in this picture. You see Kelsey, she's in the center. And Noonan is the large man to the far left. Almost bald, has like whitish hair at the top. Is that whitish or yellow? It's a weird color here. A little bit at the top. All right, I think I'm out of here. We do have something ticking on the bottom of the screen. If you give a donation to the Give, Send, Go for my defense fund for the Young Jerks, send $10 or more to the Young Jerks Legal Defense Fund. It's givesendgo.com. the Young Jerks. If you give $10 or more in the U.S. to the Defense Fund, and you want a Young Jerk sticker or one of the 3M stickers, we'll send it out to you. Just email a screen cap of the donation to mjcboston1@yahoo.com. It's scrolling on the ticker at the bottom of the screen. So if you make a donation tonight, Maz is also doing a fundraiser tonight. So if you do make any donations to our defense fund, you can get some stickers as well. Even if you've already got them, if you want more stickers, we also have the 3M stickers with Betero and Mazza and me. Some of our moderators design those. They're fun. We'll ship those out to you. Here's the other one. This one bigger. Let's get this one. The 3M stickers. There you go. Whoop, I'm dropping them. They're little stickers you can put on your phone or your cell phone. There's Betero. You see Betero there? And there's Mazza. So if you want a sticker and you haven't gotten any, or you want some new ones, you just want, get some places to put some more stickers, send a donation. GiveSendGo.com/theyoungjerks. Send the screen capture of the donation or your email. You'll get an email confirmation. You can send that along. mjcboston1@yahoo.com. Or just tell us which email you used. We just want to confirm you made a donation. It's easy. And also, if you can give a donation to Kelsey, it's Help Kelsey Heal. GiveSendGo.com/Help Kelsey Heal. All right, we're all going to go hang out at Mazza Media. He's going to do a fundraiser for Kelsey, for the Young Jerks, and for Turtle Boy tonight. I'll see you over there at 6 p.m. Let's make sure. Oh, I didn't redirect it. Let me see if I can redirect it to him. We'll all go over it together. We'll do a little raid. We'll do a Jerks raid. It was fun. We did that recently. We did a Jerks raid over to Melanie Little because she's done it quite a few times for us, and we finally got to do one with her for her. Like she needs it because she's got so many people. I wish it was bigger. Like I wish we had. Sometimes we have more people here, so I was like, she's not even gonna notice because she's got so many people already. But it's fun to do. It's fun to do the raids. And I really appreciate Melanie because she does that a lot. She supports not just us, but other YouTubers as well. It's always fun when the cupcakes come in. When you get a cupcake raid, when you're live, it's like it is a special moment. It's like, oh, here we go. I better be on my best behavior. All the cupcakes are here. Damn, I'm having trouble finding Maz's videos. I don't know why. Maybe he doesn't have it set up. I'm trying to think. Have I redirected it to him before? I'm going to look one more time before I go. Well, we have it pinned in the chat, so let's just do it that way. I can't figure out a way to redirect him tonight. It's not showing up for some reason. Let's do this. Young Jerks, Turtle Boy. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it could be a YouTube thing tonight, too. Oh, actually, I have it right here. I found it. There we go. So now we're good. We're going to redirect to Mazza Media at 6:01 p.m. I think this is the perfect timing for it. I'm going to play this video one more time. Let's start from the beginning.
Assault and disorderly conduct in North Andover and
Get a fresh look.
Police Andover and Lawrence. Police.
Oh, of course it won't let me.
Lawrence.
Come on. This Kelsey though, see what she's doing with the hand signals right there. She's basically explaining what she had just walked in on. Her and her partner, Patrick Noonan, who's watching her, the guy who shot her in the chest later. They offered her a free pizza, no time off. You're pregnant right now. You just walked in on a murder suicide of a dead baby. You want a free pizza? We'll give you some pizza.
In North Andover and Lawrence, police reports show that Paez was charged with domestic assault and motor vehicle violations in connection with 2 incidents in late 2022. Her sister says that Paez was bipolar, but had stopped taking her medication and sometimes acted out of control. During a traffic stop in Lawrence, Paez allegedly threatened police and said she wanted to kill people. One officer said he even recognized her from a previous suicide attempt. Police and DCF tell us they are both investigating Monday's apparent murder-suicide.
Well, terrible. Police definitely need more support mental health. And it sucks when you have police chiefs that don't get it. Which I think we do. When we have a pranking police chief, I don't think mental health ranks real high. All right, I'm headed out. I will see you over at Mazza Media. I'll be on there later, I'm sure, as well. I got the link. So I'll be joining Mazza for this fundraiser tonight. I hope to see you over there in the chat. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow, too. Remember, tomorrow we'll be streaming the Karen Reed civil case. I'm expecting video. I hope there will be video. Someone was asking, is it audio only tomorrow? God, I hope not. I think there will be video. It looks like we're going to have a pool camera there, hopefully. We'll see what happens tomorrow at 2 p.m. I'll see everyone over at Mazza Media. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much for watching.